vestibule at St. Pat's doing ass sex.
Lick, 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 lick.
Sounds great.
Complete whores.
Opie and Anthony got this couple to have sex in New York's St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Desecration against the church is disrespectful. It's a true sacrilege.
It was just a joke. Opie's fault again.
How can we blow up our lives today?
You rocking sex. Uh-oh, we're in it again.
They hire people who are artists to do a certain thing, and then when they go too far, they suddenly wash their hands of them if they feel the heat is too heavy.
Opie and Anthony should not have been fired.
Technically, we didn't get fired.
They probably shouldn't have hired them in the first place.
Exiled radio hosts.
They had been fired in Boston after announcing that the mayor was killed. Another prank.
And I go, Anthony, I got a great idea today. We're going to tell the whole city of Boston that the mayor died in a fiery car crash while he was on vacation in Florida. What do you think?
Oh my God, is this a bad one?
Oh, it just gets worse and worse.
Everything just went right down the crapper.
Can I just say fuck?
The duo is signed on with XM Satellite Radio.
Thank God.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Oh, what a glorious day.
It's all about me. I play golf with old guys.
I am a grinning idiot.
Hey, it's Opie and Anthony. We're back now at the new Climate of Radio. Ho, ho, Opie.
Thank you. You don't go to CNN for dick jokes. Don't come to O&A for hard-hitting news.
Я обожаю Опи и Энтони.
私はオピとアントニー毎日聞きます。
Опи's хуй большой и красивый.
I don't know.
Your mom's box. We stink.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Beyond AM, Beyond FM, it's XM Satellite Radio.
O&A Party Rock!
I hate this place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
Is that so? Who made you pope in this dump, huh?
Shut up, shut up.
You lie! You're a fucking liar! Shut up!
Yeah, that's a joke, son. Don't you get it? I made a funny, son, and you're not laughing.
You got good milk over there? Is that lactate shit?
Jimmy's got lactate just in case you get the squirts.
Lactate or lactate, fat-free milk?
Yeah.
Ugh, I have to. What happened to the regular milk in this joint?
It gives him the runs.
Oh, no, it doesn't give me the runs.
What does lactose do to you, sir?
It does things to my insides that make my farts smell not as good as they normally would.
All right, I love lactate then.
Believe me, you love it.
But you're controlling the milk around here now.
I'm not.
Because of you, that's all they get is lactate.
Then ask for something different.
I want regular milk for my coffee.
I pay for lactate, so they get no lactate.
For your coffee, for your coffee doesn't matter, does it? Like Coffee Mate?
There's nothing wrong with lactate.
Lactate, fat-free. Good. Easy to digest.
Attaboy.
20% more of the daily value of calcium than other milk.
For delicate innards like
100% lactose-free.
Nice.
I have delicate innards.
I need some lactose.
His guts are a
and this
little
stuff
testy.
Lasts.
Because no one's drinking it.
No. It doesn't go bad.
Yeah, it doesn't go sour.
Well, that's wonderful.
Doesn't turn sour.
Doesn't give you sour stomach.
Well,
sour.
It's Whip 'em Out Wednesday. We'll have a listener explain that in a little while.
Wow.
We're like 2 days away from vacation, so bear with us.
Please. Hey,
Anthony's
people.
not even taking his coat off.
It's just like where you work, okay? Sometimes we fall into things that are just like your jobs. Sure, we come in and have fun on a daily basis, but around vacation time, are you really pushing to get those reports out? Are you really? Are you going to the boss and saying, what can I do in the last 2 days before vacay? Or are you maybe taking a longer lunch?
And we realize in the long-term scheme of things,
yeah,
these 2 days don't mean shit.
Don't matter.
They really don't.
Please.
We're just like you. We're checking the weather in the Caribbean.
Look at my laurels, Opie. Look at them. I'm resting upon them.
I'm going to be there in 2 days. Let me see how warm it is right now.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking about? Right now, I'm lying in the solarium on the ship, drinking a banana and rum drink. That's
Very,
where I
very
am right
good.
now. I'm not sitting here.
Look what we do, though. We're going to have a fine show today.
Of course.
Because we're that damn good.
We don't sacrifice. We could have fine shows without even giving a shit what we do.
Well, there's a lot of great stories in the news, so that'll help us. There's a coyote loose in Central Park.
Really?
For the rest of America, we have a little park called Central Park. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you haven't been there. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big. How big is it really?
Relatively speaking, no, it's not that big.
I think it's a mile by 6 miles, if I had to guess.
Is that it?
Maybe.
That kind of sounds big now.
Does it?
Kind of.
Yeah, but then there's other things in there. There's like an ice rink, and then there's like, a horse stable, and then there's like ponds and lakes and reservoirs.
I spent a whole day, though, walking around in there. Like, it could take a whole day to kind of walk around the whole thing.
Yeah,
see
definitely.
everything.
Well, there's a coyote loose, and we were just telling Jimmy Norton, and Jimmy thinks he saw the wild coyote.
Jimmy.
I was almost injured. No, you weren't.
By this animal.
That's not what you just told us.
Isn't even part of what you said.
I'm alive here by the grace of God. You said you were driving home and you saw what looked like a wild dog, or an unusual wild dog.
Yeah, but what if the car broke down right there? Then what do? I get out, and I'm attacked. 'Cause I don't like to help animals.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm driving home last night, and I'm coming across the park
in the caddy.
Oh, but of course, you goose. There's these yellow things that ride around that a lot of people jump into. I wouldn't know what they are.
Annoyances.
Yeah, who knows?
With savages at the wheel. Those things.
Yeah, steer with their feet. So I was driving by the park last night, and I made a mental note. I saw a very odd-looking a dog, but it wasn't a dog. It was something very weird. I thought it was a devil dog.
The devil dog, yes.
It was all skinny and creepy and mangy.
And had cream filling. oh, I thought you meant Drake's version of the devil dog. Sorry.
And I made a mental note that is a very odd-looking wild... I thought it was like a wild dog, or as I was telling you, a dingo.
Well, the coyote, you'll look, it has longer legs than your standard dog of the same scale. It's a little mangy looking.
Yes.
Kind of rough, wiry hair.
It was looking around.
Pointy snout.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, and the ears were pointed straight up. It was really weird.
Yeah, okay. You probably saw the coyote.
I saw the coyote that everyone's looking for.
Everyone's looking for, Jimmy, and you saw it and
Nice,
did
Jimmy.
nothing.
You should have stopped and
You're
didn't
a
stop it.
hero. You think the press we could have gotten? O&A's flunky catches or something. At least get our name in the paper.
Coming home from seeing a hooker, catches
to
the wild coyote.
Rubs peanut butter on his genitals, trying to lure the coyote in.
Befriends coyote. So I saw
I bet the coyote was cuter than the mess you were with last night, by the way.
No. Well, it was fun. So, no, I'm driving, and I saw the coyote, and I got out, and I chased it.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would endanger people.
That's not what you told us before we went on the air.
It is?
No, it's not.
Jimmy was holding its paw to try to keep it in one place, and it actually chewed its own paw off to get away from Jimmy.
I was raised by that coyote and its family in the woods, so I freed it. No, I reckon...
To keep him from growling, Jimmy put a breathe right strip on his snout, too. So if you see a dog-like creature with a breathe right strip, it's the coyote.
So, yeah, I did see it. I'm trying to think of where it was. It was before, because I was coming from the east side, and I went through the park at 65th. Might have been 71st and 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Like right over there, when you hit 5th Avenue, you got to go south, and then you get to 65th, you make a right, and that takes you through the park to the west side. So I'm almost positive. Yeah, I was coming head on, so I'd say it was on the Upper East Side.
Was he on rocket skates chasing a tall bird? No? Because sometimes I know they do that. Or they'll fire themselves out of harpoon guns, and just before they grab the bird, hit a big boulder.
No, I saw him, though. He was falling off a cliff, and he was hovering in midair, and he looked.
Did you see his sign? It usually says, yikes. No? As he falls.
So you saw the coyote?
Yeah, so I had an experience. I'm glad I'm here today to talk about it.
Thank God. Because those things can be very, very frightened of people.
They were
run away.
They were doing car attacks
Oh, was that it?
Oh, dude, I was reading about it before. It was like a bunch of people with cars, windows open. The dogs were just jumping in and attacking.
And eating them. Yeah, it's
Kill 'em.
horrible.
All
You know
right.
the coyote, by the way, they're making it sound like it's a coyote and it's very scary and stuff. They are so petrified of people. You could... I would dare anybody to try to even get injured. I'll pay someone money if they get injured by this thing. You could go right up to it and go, booga, 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 or whatever you want to do to try to get him angry.
Well, yeah.
And they just won't hurt you. They're scared shitless. They come down here a lot of times from the countryside around Manhattan. I don't know how they get across the bridges.
What are you talking about?
How do they get across the bridge?
It either escaped from the Central Park Zoo or some ass said, you know what, this could be fun for a few days.
And just let them in?
Yeah.
I think they come across the bridge or the tunnel.
We have a great idea, man. We want to put a shark.
Yeah, we were going to do
Central Park
this in the lake.
Because I guarantee the media would go with it like crazy. We were trying to do it last summer.
And it'd die real quick, but...
Yeah, but then the dead shark would be on the shores of one of these little lakes or ponds in Central Park, and then...
The one that people have their radio-controlled sailboats in.
Yeah,
How about that one?
The media would go nuts. Especially, we wanted to do this when the shark season was... the shark attack season was happening.
Yeah, when all you heard about was another shark attack. Oh, New Jersey sharks, can they hurt you? A shark in Central Park? We'll tell you about it.
Wait till you see the news reports on the coyote. I'm sure they're making it a lot worse than it is.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's
what happens. They'll talk to an expert. What if now you're walking through the park and you see this? Well, the best thing is just stay clear. Call 911 and let professionals deal with this. They'll get animal control in there because they are wild animals. I want to stress this. Though they might look like a dog, these are...
Shut up. The coyote is the tamest animal in Central Park.
Please, don't worry about it. Yeah, there's plenty of other animals you got to worry about in Central Park.
If I saw a coyote in Central Park, I would feel much safer,
yeah.
All right?
I don't think a woman is going to be hit over the head with a cobblestone and raped by a coyote.
If you walked up and yelled ooga booga to the coyote, he would run and 5 guys would come out and answer. Yes.
Let's see, a wily coyote.
He's wily.
Oh, boy, I tell you, the boys are really good.
Damn, they're funny.
Wild coyote on the prowl inside Central Park eluded cops for hours last night after several people, including Lil Jimmy Norton, reported seeing the wild animal. Cops fanned out across the park with the help of a police chopper flying overhead in search of the coyote starting at around 4:30 p.m. in the southeastern corner of the park. Several passerbys alerted Parks Department workers that they had seen a wolf-like animal inside the park at around 2:30 p.m. Near the pond on East 59th Street.
Oh.
Park Department...
Can we get a map with pins in it?
Parks Department workers point out the animal to Paneep, whoever the hell Paneep is, or Beneep, who had made his way there after hearing about the sightings hanging out near a tree at East 63rd Street and 5th Avenue. It was a big, healthy coyote. It was hiding near a fallen tree. That's when the search for the coyote intensified as cops and animal control officers armed with tranquilizer guns joined the chase.
Just armed with a pork chop. That'll do it. Armed with a pork chop and a leash.
How much you want to bet this this story ends with a dead coyote?
Absolutely.
Because, they got to protect us.
It's coming right for us.
Can't have a coyote running around wild.
Well, when I saw it, it was on 5th Avenue, and it was very dangerous. It was very late.
Park officials said they received the first call of a coyote sighting Monday afternoon near East 59th Street. The coyote has been hunting birds and ducks. The staff has found several piles of feathers. Cops also spotted the coyote and spent hours chasing it, even failing to hit it after shooting tranquilizer darts at it until the search was called off for the night at 9:30 p.m.
Do they find these darts after they shoot them and miss? Or are they sitting on the great lawn out there for some poor fuck that goes to sun to squat down on? That'd be great. Wham, right in the ass.
Let's say hi to Mike in Jersey. Mike, what's up?
Yeah, I need to talk to Jimmy right away, please.
Go ahead.
Glad to be alive, Mike. How are you?
Exact location of the coyote. This is the Acme delivery man. I need to get the anvil over to him right away.
Oh, did he order an anvil? Wow, that's odd. Oh, we'll
sir, we'll see how much you make light of it when your life's on the line.
Jimmy, you don't need to get out of your car. You just push that red cross.
He didn't get out of the car!
Sir.
He rolled up the windows and fled the area.
Later, boys.
All right.
This is an actual OnStar recording.
I'm Jimmy Norton and I see a coyote. Please send help. I'm in my caddy and I'm very scared. Who are you calling, Daddy? Shut up, you. Keep sucking.
Who are you calling, Daddy? I don't like no coyotes. They might take my wig and run away with it. Mr. Kirkland said I'll be out on probation.
All right, we'll get the news stories on the old coyote loose in Central Park because you know the news is spinning this nicely.
Oh,
today.
coyote would attack.
Let's see
It would
what
be
else
great
is going
if
on.
it did attack somebody, a kid or something.
Yeah.
Oh, the hunt, the news, the fear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please,
At
a
that
small
point,
child.
everyone would get their pitchforks and their torches.
Oh,
and...
like village,
Right.
village mob.
Please tear the leg off a baby and run with it.
Oh, would that be great? Just puts his pointy little mangy snout in a stroller and just walks away with a child by the head, by that big soft spot, shaking vigorously as the mother screams in horror.
The police have to follow socks and a Winnie the Pooh thing that's all ripped up.
All right, let's go to Brian in Albany. Brian.
Morning, guys.
Hello, Brian.
Hey there. I was wondering if you guys were going to talk about the hot, sexy teacher in Tampa that just got off from molesting the 14-year-old boy.
Deborah LaFave, my fave pedophile. Deborah LaFave. She is. They showed her on the news last night. Big story down there in Florida, Opie. Apparently, they were going to cut a guilty deal. They're going to give her a guilty plea to reduce charges, which would have given her 2 years probation and at-home arrest. She had to wear a little ankle bracelet. I'm sure it would have looked lovely on those legs of hers.
Mm-hmm.
And she could just stay home and then go out for work, things like that. They offered her that plea. The judge saying, that's not enough. That's ridiculous. This woman's a predator, a pedophile. No, we're gonna try to take this to trial. The prosecution then turns around and says, Your Honor, we don't really have a case. The kid doesn't want to testify. The kid's parents don't want him to testify. We don't have enough, really, to take this to trial. So, bye-bye.
And the
so
kid
she got completely off the hook for this one in Florida. She's got another thing that she's spending 2 years probation and home arrest from another state. But
And the kid
Florida
didn't
one.
want to testify because it's going to turn out to be the greatest day of his life, or the greatest week of his life, however long that went on.
Yep. And I think he doesn't want to make any enemies with her. Would you? A couple of years go by, he's of age, he's back fucking her.
Good
Yeah.
point. Because wasn't
Great point.
Wasn't one of the friends that blew up this kid's spot?
Yeah.
It wasn't the kid that was all distraught.
No,
Right, it was
no.
a friend in the back seat.
Friend
and
in
a
the
friend
back
that was
seat.
driving.
A friend that had to watch his friend fuck this babe. Of course he's going to rat.
Right.
At least give him a little tug.
Yeah, the kid
Something
had no
help
problem.
the kid out.
The kid had no problem fucking the hot 25-year-old teacher.
Right.
That's every 14-year-old's dream.
Please, of course it is.
When you were 14, did you dream about that crap?
Dude, and she is just model hot.
Right.
She's like...
I dreamed about my teachers, and they were like 4s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you're 14 getting rods like, you know.
Oh. Wearing their culottes?
Right. You're getting rods all day long. You're 14, and you had a teacher that you looked up to, and if you look back now, you'd realize she was only a 4.
Yeah.
But you thought she was the hottest thing going.
And this chick's a 10.
She's a 10. Of course the kid's not going to
I
testify.
bet you she called
Banging.
them and said, "Look, please." I bet
No,
you she,
no, the kid had no problem with this. It was his friend, and then the parents got involved, like, oh, my baby.
Yeah. She started blaming the media last night. She's like, the media blew this out of proportion. Blew. I thought it was funny that she used that word. Blew it out of proportion. And they were victimizing the young man, as she put it.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say child or boy. She goes, the young man is suffering enough from this, and I don't think the media has to make it that
God,
much
I
worse.
love her.
And it didn't matter what she said. Could you imagine a 25-year-old man, a 14-year-old girl that's a student of his in the middle school? He fucks her, blames the media, and gets let off the hook.
Yeah.
It would never, ever happen.
No,
it is a huge double standard.
Huge. Of course it is.
Which, I guess is fine, whatever. There is something
God.
creepy. There's something creepy about a woman. Yeah, the picture of her in the paper.
Fuck.
There's
Wait,
something
wait,
creepy
you
about
could-
an old guy and a young girl at school like that.
Right.
But there's something just incredibly hot as a guy looking and remembering 14, and this the teacher is just hotness, and it affects not only guys that are talking like guys, but obviously it affects judges and lawyers and professional people. They looked at her, they looked into those blue eyes and blonde hair, and just said, "You can leave. You're free to go. Take a walk. Just please try not to do it again. But if you do, I'd be happy to read the transcripts all over again."
Right, exactly. Sucking his cock, fucking him,
did you read?
Dumping in her. What a
did you
fucking
read
good
all
egg.
the transcripts to that case?
It's fantastic.
Penthouse Forum times 10.
Well, where is it?
On the smoking gun.
Yeah, let's read it again.
It's on the smoking gun.
Hey, you like that picture of her on the motorcycle? I'm not a fan of the motorcycle picture. I got to be honest with you.
That's a teacher, and because I know she banged a 14-year-old student, yes.
Yeah.
She's got an amazing face,
filthy.
but her body is,
It's good.
It's good. If you threw a Stalker Patty's head on that body, you'd be like, wow, this body isn't that great.
She's head on anybody.
Thanks for ruining that buzz. I want to date her.
She goes through some weight fluctuations, this girl. She could be a little chubby at times, which she wears well, mind you. And then she can slim down. So there's a lot of different pictures of her looking...
There's no real shape to her. She's not fat.
That picture's not good. She's kind of putting her butt out a little bit and arching her back, and instead she's not sucking in her belly a little bit to give her some rib action there.
Right.
But when she's standing in that courtroom trying to look demure, she's looking excellent. And a lot of critics of the judge saying that if the prosecution is willing to cut a deal, then it's supposed to be some kind of a signal to the judge that they don't have a case. And the judge fucked up by not seeing this and deciding, no, we're not taking the plea deal. This is horrible. She's going to trial. Because it's supposed to be the judge is going to look and go, well, the prosecution's saying we want to cut a deal. It means the prosecution doesn't have a case. So you don't turn around and say, no, we're not accepting the deal. We're going to trial. Because then what happens. Mm-hmm. The prosecution comes up to you and goes, Judge, we don't have anything. All right, you're free to go.
Let's say hi to Momo. Momo.
Hey, good morning, fellas.
Howdy. You going to talk about this, or you going to talk about something else? Because we never know. We never know with you when you call our show.
I know. I'm just a wild. I'm a wild and crazy.
You're one of those wild listeners.
That's right.
All right. What's up, Momo?
What I was going to say was I was going to agree with Anthony, but I also wanted to add to what he said by saying that, from what I understood from watching the news, that the prosecution did have a case, but because both of the victim, the victim's family, and the prosecutor, they basically said that they wanted to get this put it behind him as quickly as possible. That was the reason for the plea agreement.
Right.
But for whatever reason, the judge said no, and the reason that they speculate that the prosecutor dropped the case was basically to flip the judge off. It pissed the prosecutor off by not taking the plea agreement. They said it was very unusual, for a judge to refuse to take the agreement.
That's what I said.
Well, dude, no, you make a good point. What kind of animal was seen running around in the park, if you're going to just reiterate?
A coyote.
Thank you, sir.
Good, Momo.
All right. Thank you, Momo.
All right.
Let's say hi to Tim in Westchester. Tim, what's going on today?
Yeah, I wanted to call Anthony out. What a pussy he is knowing what culottes are.
Culottes, sir, were very, very big when me and Opie were little school children. So, yeah, we know what they are.
I don't know what they are. I just nodded and said, yeah, you're right, Ant.
I'm not even
Jimmy,
sure
do you know what a culotte is?
Aren't they like big, goofy-looking shorts?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and the teachers in the
so why when
70s
you call them just
always
big,
wore them.
Goofy shorts?
Because they had names. They were called culottes. And the teachers back in the 70s would always come in wearing culottes.
Yeah, I had a 7th grade teacher who wore culottes, Miss Hennessy.
See? You faggot, you knew what they were?
I don't know what they are.
Yo, Herman, you're bleeding.
I don't know what they are.
They're big, goofy shorts, like big 70s puffy, short things.
That's wonderful. Thanks for.
There they are. Okay, they're not necessarily shorts. They could come up mid-calf or up to the knee.
Oh, there's a name for those things?
They're
Those
long
are
pants as far as I'm
culottes.
They're
concerned.
long pants
With big bell bottoms on them, so you can see your go-go boots.
They're kind of like long shorts.
Exactly.
Yeah, long shorts.
Or short regular pants.
With big bell bottoms.
They're in between shorts and pants.
Fascinating look that I hope comes back this season.
I always called them medium slacks.
Yes, the medium slacks.
They look like regular pants that a coyote has bitten the bottom out of.
Hey, you would know.
Yeah.
How's your pant leg there?
But for the grace of God, there go I.
Shut up.
Close call for Jimmy.
Bryce in Montana. Bryce?
Hey there, Bryce.
Yeah, I'm just going to comment on this. You know, how you were saying it's a double standard with this teacher. It's a double standard that's been set by children's parents and by us as guys, because if my 14-year-old son fucks a teacher that I know I want to fuck, but I can't, I'm throwing high fives. But if my 14-year-old daughter gets fucked by her teacher, I'm going to kill the fucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see? There is a double standard, but, you know, there are plenty of double standards, just the way the world is.
This one happens to work in our favor.
Certainly does.
Right.
I think
That's not a bad double
if
standard.
she was an ugly old hag, she'd have seen some time, too. I think she'd have seen some time. I think anyone in their right mind knew, oh, my God, we cannot put that in prison. We cannot put her in a woman's prison. It would just be the smorgasbord that just wheel her in on a fucking carving table like you see at a banquet and have a big silver thing over her that someone could pull off and go, voila! And just feeding time. Because imagine that walking into a woman's
Ladies,
prison.
the buffet is open.
Oh, forget about it.
I love
Drop
Betty.
everything and pick up your brooms and plungers, ladies. It's all about eating pussy today.
She looks, do you know who she looks like?
Who?
On Pal Talk?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Kara from MySpace, who's on Pal Talk. I don't know if she's on right now, but she's one of the regulars that comes in here. And I was looking at the whole time, who does she look like in the face? That's what she looks like.
All right, moving on. Priest solicits sex from cop.
Ooh, hotter we go. Where's this?
Why?
It's hot day in the news.
Why?
Yeah, where is that one?
Why?
Opie, what paper?
Wile E. Coyote in Central Park Romp. I got that.
I know.
The
I can't wait to
title
get the news stories
gets
on
me.
the Wild Coyote.
And I look, it says Wile E. Here it is.
Ex-priest in Long Island perv bust.
Perv bust.
When are they going to learn? A former priest tried to solicit sex from an undercover Long Island cop posing on the
internet
as a
computer programmer.
Oh, no, Jimmy.
As a 14-year-old boy, Nassau police said yesterday. Thomas Bender, 72, of Pennsylvania. Yes, Anthony.
They're, just to reiterate there, they're never 14-year-old boys.
Yeah.
Believe me.
When are they going to learn? When are they going to learn?
They never learn, these people. They never. I want to hear from one pervert out there that actually hooked up with a 14-year-old boy or girl or anything. They just aren't out there. They are all cops.
They're just hoping against hope.
Oh, Jimmy.
Well, do you want to hear or do you want to interrupt?
Shit.
Jimmy doesn't mean that. He had a stressful night running away from the coyote.
Yeah, well, while you guys
running
are
for his life.
While you're sleeping in your beds, I'm trying to keep the city safe.
Good luck to you.
Thomas Bender, 72, of Pennsylvania, had several online conversations with the undercover officer dating back to September 2004. He traveled to Long Island yesterday to meet with the supposed teen with the intention of taking him to a hotel room, cop said. Instead, he was arrested and charged with an attempted criminal sex act and attempting to disseminate indecent material to a minor.
Inseminate.
So there you go. They got another one overnight.
What a buzzkill that is. You're all horned up, fucking...
You're just foaming.
Ready for a youngster.
Yeah.
I just came to get something to eat.
What was that?
Oh, that's the guy. I guarantee that's the guy from Perverted Justice they caught at the McDonald's.
Oh, right.
I just came to get something to eat.
Right, he was going to McDonald's to hook up with a 14-year-old boy.
The day after they busted him somewhere else.
Yeah, and this is his excuse.
I just came to get something to eat.
Just came to get something to eat.
Don't just stare at it, eat it.
Yeah, that would have been.
Oh, there she is.
Would have made it. Yeah, there she is. Look at the.
What's she sound like? What does she sound like?
She sounds hot and
That's
stupid.
taken away from me. I've lost family and I've lost friends, and
oh no, you made a
as you can
whole
see,
bunch of new
my face
friends.
has been plastered on every internet address, every news outlet,
Yep.
and that's not easy. It's not easy
But
feeling
you
the
are.
guilt and the remorse and having my own family suffer for my actions.
I love that.
My greatest regret would probably be the fact that I put this
Didn't
young
get to
man through
come.
this.
Nothing.
I mean, the media has totally taking it out of proportion, and I believe that I'm going through therapy and doing everything that I can possible to better myself for the community and society. I'm
See the
a strong
animals
Christian
behind her
woman,
in the
and I
courtroom?
believe that God has a path for me, and this was just a bump
And
in
it's
the
called
road.
Playboy.
A path,
Just a
a
bump
path
in
of
the
gummy
road. The
bears
fact
that
she's
leads to a
not going to
14-year-old
prison is
cock.
causing a lot of controversy. And joining us now.
All right, well there you go. So.
I would date her, and I would parade her around and hold her hand.
Yeah, why not?
And introduce her to my nephew and give him a wink. Go ahead, son.
She's a goer. Yeah, knock off a piece.
Hey, you want to play a little more internet? The internet Dateline Internet Predators, episode 3.
Oh, please. Episode 3. Stop.
We never
Was
got
that 3?
Yeah, we never got to the end of it. We got a few more guys.
Yeah.
Because we got another perv in the news today.
Predators.
We might as well play a little more of this audio. This is
Love it.
This is some of the greatest audio ever. It's the best reality show on TV. It beats American Idol hands down. Hands down. They set up that old house somewhere in California, and now you got the copycats. They're doing the same thing on Long Island. They're doing it.
Frightening for the perverts out there.
They're
What are you
doing it
gonna do?
all over America now because of Dateline. They're just renting a house for a day and getting the pervs to show up, hoping they're gonna meet something young and fresh.
Do the perverts ever offer to send a car, pick up the 14-year-old, and bring them to your place? Is that illegal?
Wow, good idea.
Because the cop can't really hop in a car and drive to your house. Then they're kind of coming to meet you.
Doesn't matter.
I'm sure
Doesn't?
I'm sure there's some excuse like I can't do that. You're gonna have to come
All right.
here, and then the pervs are all.
Hold on, I gotta get my phone. Yeah, cancel the limo today that I had going to the middle school. Thank you.
Okay.
Chicken's always funny. Trying to recover.
It's actually not a bad. It's more of an interesting suggestion. Like, could you do that?
Could you?
But then again, if they're set, cop wouldn't actually just get in the car and show up and fuck you.
But then they couldn't, because then it's just like, what are they going to do? Get out of the limo? You go, that is the 14-year-old boy I want to fuck.
Yeah.
Oops. Maybe you shouldn't say that.
You're 45 wearing a Boy Scout outfit, sir.
Hey, Chris on Long Island. Chris, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, shit dicks? What's up, fat tits?
What's
No, sir, you can say whatever you want, but I've been to hell and back, so I'm happy. How are you?
I'm all right, guys. Well, first of all, I'm a teacher on my way to school, and after that first story, I got half a rod going. Second of all, Aunt, you said that there are never 14-year-old boys on the internet?
No, I know. I said there are never 14-year-old boys that these people go to meet. I'm sure
well,
there
they
are plenty.
when they're playing chess against Opie.
Well, I'm sure they're on the internet. Yes.
Drats!
Kicking my ass in Counter-Strike, playing chess.
I was playing chess online until I realized I was playing like 12, 13-year-olds. And now I haven't played chess since. I'm so depressed. I really thought I had some skills in chess, and I was playing online for a while, and all of a sudden it finally hit me one day when the kid writes, "Wow, you're pretty good. I'm 12. How old are you?"
Oh, great.
And I went, "I'm 15," because I couldn't cop to my age because I was kicking this 12-year-old's ass in chess. I felt like such a loser, and I haven't played chess since.
Are we taping this?
What is this?
This is the most hysterical. It's fucking candid camera for the
Oh,
cops.
setup car.
Love
They
setup
brought
car.
setup car? They brought
look
back
at the
setup
brothers.
car?
Look at the brothers.
They did this a while ago.
What it is they set up a car to be stolen, and it's set up where you could start it and then drive it for a while, but then the engine conks out and the doors lock, and the cops pull up, and there's no excuse whatsoever. They say, "Hey, I didn't do nothing. Yo, I didn't do nothing." And it's just brother after brother or Puerto Rican after Puerto Rican they pull out of these.
We're getting the audio of that? We definitely should. We're getting it. All right, thanks, Danny.
Yeah.
Danny. All right, so let's
Love
get back
the
to
setup
Dateline
car.
Internet Predators, Episode 3. So this really old dude is going to the house that they set up with the cops to meet something young. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy.
Yeah.
Probably a guy, probably a boy. And here's some of the fine audio.
What you up to today?
Nothing?
Yeah, just to set up. So the old dude is in the house, and all of a sudden now Dateline, jumps into the room.
It's great. They have a girl in there that could sound like a young boy or a young girl.
Right.
Yeah, and she gets them to come through the back door
Right.
of the house, of course. And there's the Dateline guy
right
waiting for them.
Hold on a second. Can we go to Jay, Chocolate City? Jay, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to let all the new listeners know what a lucky fella little Jimmy is. He has now escaped peril in Central Park 2 times. He had that wall almost fall on him, fella.
You had a wall almost fall on you?
Yeah, when he was getting that knob job by that hooker, that retaining wall, about a year ago.
What?
All right, car crash, punching out.
You can't crash and then punch out.
I have no idea what that story's about.
Hold on, Nathaniel, did Danny just send you in? Oh, thank you.
All right, here we go. So the old dude is in the house, and now Dateline pops into the room to give him the bad news.
What you up to today? Nothing. Call. You talk with a gentleman? I have a place that I have for sale. So.
Oh, you're selling a house.
I see. He was interested.
Well, here's what doesn't make sense about that. How is a 13-year-old going to afford to buy your home?
Well, I didn't know how old he was. I didn't stop to ask his age.
Well, Chuck, the only problem with that story is that I have the transcripts of your conversation with Luke.
Drat.
What are you looking for? I could be your grandpa. Into young boys your age, love to cuddle with them, caress their body, work my... And it goes on from there.
Work my... I'm disgusted.
Let's play match game. Work my...
Hairless cock.
Can I say how much I hate this reporter's voice?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, is he a
phony? Work my blank.
He has too much joy in his soul that he's doing this job.
A
13-year-old boy.
Charles Nelson Riley, work my butthole. I don't know.
All right, we have more...
Work my prostate like a speed bag. Could you choke me with my ascot till I almost pass out? Give me some poppers. Oh. I like a guy that looks like Brett Summers.
Too good. All right, we got more audio of the really old dude.
Finally, he decides to tell the truth. And he actually admits that he might have had sex with the boy.
But if he would have consented to having sex, what would have happened?
I'd be very hesitant at first. If he continued, then possibly we would have had it.
Possibly you would have had sex with a 13-year-old boy.
If, I felt uncomfortable and I felt that he was, not fit or anything, I would have walked away.
Not fit? How can a 13-year-old boy be fit to have sex with a 65-year-old man?
I mean fat.
Don't you see an issue there?
Well, I see nothing wrong with cuddling and caressing.
Then he talks about a book he reads that fills him with fantasies.
It deals with younger, older, father, son.
Father, son?
Oh.
You're talking about fathers having sex with their sons, grandfathers having sex with their grandsons.
Doctors with their patients, with the young patients, employees with their young patients.
You talk about this like it's some sort of hobby, building train sets. That's not what we're talking about here.
It's a book that I read and I fantasize.
Wow.
Way to not give out the title.
Is that on Oprah's list?
Oprah's book club.
I don't think so. Yeah. I think that guy probably, I think his lawyer probably would have told him to shut up.
Yeah.
I think that was a bad thing he did there legally.
Yes.
For his case.
That could cause a problem.
Fantasize about how many young boy, a young manicotti boy came up with a baseball bat. He's on Ed Norton's baseball team.
The book's called
Big Ball Norton.
Pull the diaper off, Grandpa will get it. The book is called A Million Little Asses. All right, here we go. Some more audio from the old dude.
Anybody home?
Yeah, come on in.
Here's a man with the screen name Guy from Mars 83, who seems to think it's perfectly legal for an adult to talk online to a 13-year-old about meeting for sex.
Guy from Mars. It's my favorite book. Men are from Mars. Kids are from Sesame Street.
I guess this is a new dude, huh?
Yeah.
This is a new guy.
I love him.
Anybody home?
Yeah, come on in.
Here's a man with the screen name Guy from Mars 83, who seems to think it's perfectly legal for an adult to talk online to a 13-year-old about meeting for sex.
How are you?
Imagine the poor guy with the screen name Guy from Mars 82. Like, gotta change my whole fucking screen name now.
He's just a
this
fan.
asshole.
He's a fan of astronomy. That's all. You know.
Guy from Mars. You know.
Gets on with other geeks and talks about stars.
Hey, did you hear about the face on Mars isn't really a face? Right. Looking from another... What? I'm not a pervert. What the... No, that's the other. One more up.
They found a rock with oxygen in it.
Yeah, bunch of guys. Guy from Mars 80, chatting with him.
Yeah, guy from Venus. They're having another problem with him because he wants to talk about Venus. And they're like, it's too close to the sun to have life, you dope.
That's a very good point.
To a 13-year-old about meeting for sex.
How are you? Pretty good service.
And then show up at her house. He's 23-year-old Inderjeet Singh.
Oh boy.
Well, you can talk, you can converse, but it doesn't mean I'm going to do it, right? Unless I do it, unless you catch me on point doing it.
Well.
So you say I would have to catch you having sex with a 13-year-old girl before you could get in trouble.
Maybe in India.
Before you can put me against the law, that it is against the law. Yeah.
So you're a lawyer?
I'm not a lawyer.
Oh, well, you sound pretty familiar with the law.
Well, I'm pretty much into academics, so.
You're into academics. Well, let me correct you a little bit on how the law works.
Okay.
Go ahead and turn around for me.
Please let me go because.
Let you go? Let you go why?
Right here. I haven't done any other crime in past. I'm very clean.
This is the first time?
Yes.
Okay.
Please believe me.
Well,
I love the please let me go. Like, what makes a person say that? Is it that last-ditch effort? Is it just the nothing? Because can you possibly think they're going to go, he said it. All right. I guess we gotta. They're not letting you go.
We should talk to the cops today, because no matter what kind of crime you commit, everyone does that. Please, come on, man.
Just let me go,
and
I'll.
Time. I'll never do it again.
All right,
you wacky bastard.
You can go.
Right. Let's talk to the cops. I don't think it's ever happened.
And
the cops
always ask.
You make a good point.
Just put your hands behind your back. You gotta look. You gotta step out of the moment. You're not there anymore. Look ahead and see what you're going to do once you get to lockup to get out of that situation. Because once they're doing it, just put your hands behind your back and cooperate. Don't talk to them. Don't do anything. Just go to jail and then decide how you're going to get out of it. Because asking, begging, talking, saying stuff, it will all just work against you.
See, it's like the weird, you're like an animal. Like 1 minute you're relaxed and like you're ready to have sex. The next minute you're a moose sitting in a lady's car.
Your head sticking out the windshield.
You just can't believe it's happening. So you're like, I panic. It's like, that's like almost like, that's stripped of all societal dignity, stripped of all messages. That's just basic. That's the core of what you want to say.
Emotionally, it's one extreme to the other, too. I mean, solid, one extreme to the other. You're whipped up into this frenzy of sex that, you think you're going to have this best fetish perverted sex you're ever going to have, and then a couple of seconds later you're being arrested.
Yeah.
Yikes. Can you please just let me go?
No.
Let me talk about it with the guys over here. That would be really funny. It's go, look, dude, it's your first time, really? Because then they'd be begging. Yeah, it's my problem. Okay, shh.
Cops do that just to make their day a little.
I'm going to talk with my sergeant
fun.
over here because since it is your first time,
I'll be right back.
And then talk and go, dude, I'm pulling the old. This guy thinks he's getting old. Look at it now. Let's look over at him. Look at his face. How sorry he looks.
And then they all nod yes, and you take the handcuff keys out.
Take the cuff keys out, start walking over to him, and then just lock the cuffs so they don't move. No, sorry, got to take you in, asshole.
Yeah.
All right, we got more audio from the Dateline Internet Predators Episode 3. This guy is trying to be normal. That's his screen name.
Could you come on over here and have a seat, please?
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
Don't be fooled. Wait until you hear more about him. He's a convicted felon.
What's going on?
I'm just meeting a friend that I met on the internet.
Really?
He's 48-year-old Daniel Allen, screen name Trying to Be Normal. Online, he promised to teach a girl who said she was 13 different sexual positions and show her what a man really likes. Not sex.
I don't know how old, but that's why I'm here. I'm just curious.
You're just curious?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't bring any booze with me. I didn't. Absolutely curiosity.
Leave your dick at home? Because I think that's the important part of this whole thing. Not the booze or the presents. It's your dick. And unless you left that at home, please see the man in blue.
His chat log suggests something else.
I will come to you and we will get a place for passionate love.
Yeah, well, what does that sound like to you?
Good point.
It's all.
He says, oh my God, how cool.
And then you say,
wow, 13, am I too old? Nah, am I too young? I hate to say this, but you're not. Why do you hate to say that? Because it's like I'm some old pervert, but girls your age are so much more fun.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have conversations like this with people that turn out to be guys more than half the time.
Lucky fella.
Oh, but half the time they're not.
Half the time, yeah.
Good point. Tell that to the judge. He'll be very understanding. Dope. You know, a lot of times I fuck kids, it turns out they're older men, Your Honor. Wow, I can empathize. Get out of here.
Half the time, they're not even kids.
Yes, and the other half the time, they're infants. You can't win.
Don't you see something inappropriate about that?
Well, I mean, maybe so, but I had my big doubts that she was 13. You know.
Then he admits this isn't his first time.
You visited people who you met online who said they were 13 before?
Well, yeah, 13 or 15.
So it's not the first time you've done this?
Well, no, wait a minute. I've never met a 13-year-old girl from offline.
Well, what I'm saying is, did you ever go meet somebody who said they were 13 online?
No, not 13. 16 in my area, and it was a
say 21.
A guy
if you're gonna
who
lie.
had a big laugh on me.
He's raising the age. I'm dead. 45. It's grandfatherly.
And then it gets ugly.
You see how it looks.
I see how it looks. You're absolutely right. You know, I mean, you're right.
Now it was time to tell him who I am.
I am Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators.
Well, you better. I'll shove that camera down his throat.
I don't think you're going to want to do that, Joe.
Why is that?
I don't think you'll want to do it. Now, we can't keep you here. If you want to say anything else to us, we'd love to hear it. You're free to leave, obviously, if you want to go.
Okay, but can I talk to you outside?
No, I can't have the cameras turned off at this point.
I can't. There.
Well,
no
then
off.
I'd like to say that pretty much I think you have it all wrong.
Pretty much.
But your point's well taken. Hi, guys. Pretty weird. Cut.
I love the you're free to go part. You're free to go for 10 feet. And then you will be arrested.
That's him just being a pussy.
Yeah.
I can't turn the cameras off.
You're free to
at
go,
this point.
if he says there's, cops in the area, then all hell's going to break loose, and he doesn't want to deal with that.
I then read the transcript of the conversation that was about graphic sound.
God, his voice. It's mind-boggling what a parody of a reporter he is.
Yep. Just smarmy.
Sex.
Who talks like that?
I would like to meet you with you and cuddle and touch each other. Really? What is going through your mind when you're writing this kind of?
Why is it going to hurt the story if he goes, "Are you here to meet a minor for sex?" Are people going to go, "I don't. That's not official."
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Hello, please take a seat.
Why are you talking like that?
Right.
That's what I'd say. Forget about me fucking children. Do a story on why you talk like that.
Yeah. Hairless asses get me hard. But your voice, sir, it has to be fixed.
What is that?
Kevin the cop, what's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey,
long time. Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Hi, Kev.
Anthony, are you sure you weren't on the job?
Why? What's that, fella?
Because that whole thing with the handcuff keys is so fucking accurate.
You do that?
Oh, my God.
That's good. I just thought it would be a hysterical joke.
That is so fucking accurate. It's not, I swear to God. I'm a highway cop out on the island. I got a civilian complaint one time for laughing so hard at you motherfuckers that the person thought I was laughing at them in their rearview mirror and wrote a letter.
Oh, no kidding.
So what do you do?
Man.
We know the cops very well.
You go to arrest them and they beg?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's just like, okay, please. Please. Come on, guy, give me a break, will you?
Have you ever let anybody go?
When you got to lock somebody up, you got to lock them up. I mean, there's so much liability involved.
Yeah.
But I let people go on the speeders all the time.
Right.
Speed, really?
I'm mostly just a speed guy.
Are you Suffolk or Nassau?
I'm in Nassau. That's all I can say.
All right.
Watch out for
I
Anthony
hear
in
you.
his house.
Nassau guys, I'll tell you though,
And his
Nassau
Escalade
Highway
and-
Patrol are some tough guys, man. They
Yeah,
are really
there's a lot of
tough
training
to.
with those guys.
They are really tough to get out of a ticket with.
Well, you got to understand something. The precinct cops, it's a summons is, you got to make, you got to make some numbers and stuff like that. They got to be decent summonses. But most of the time, you got some leeway back and forth. The reason why there are highway cops in the first place is because someone has to give the tickets and not give a break. That's why they're there.
Yeah, you get pulled over by highway, you're getting a ticket.
Yeah,
no matter what.
I mean,
that's their job. They're If they don't, if they start not giving out tickets, then what are they doing?
Well,
Sitting
it's like Anthony said that like Long Island cops don't have the balls to give him a ticket.
Hey,
and you
I didn't
raised a
say
good
that.
Point.
I love the Long Island
No,
cops.
you were just saying yesterday on the show, Anthony.
That's an Escalade and a CRX, right?
Those brilliant cops on Long Island have to shovel up more drunken teens every weekend than anywhere else in the country.
No, but it was like you say. Anthony says he doesn't even really like to slow down. He'll just poke his lips by the window and go, "I'm Anthony from the radio," and they scuttle back to the car like girls. That's what Ann says.
At this point, I don't even have time to meet you and give you autographs.
You know, I can laugh
I got
along.
somewhere to go.
I can laugh along with what Jimmy and Opie are saying because I am such a strong supporter of the police department that it comes off as a joke because everyone knows that. And
we know that, and I hear you talking guns and stuff like that. So
there you go. What do you got? What do you think?
Get you down here to our range to shoot a little bit.
Hey, what do you guys think of Swazi?
Well, I don't work for Swazi, thank God.
No, but he's running, and he wants to cut funding to the Nassau cops.
Well, he's been cutting the Nassau cops ever since
I
he got
say,
in.
fuck Swazi.
Well, I agree. And if
Pay the cops what they deserve.
You see what this guy
$1 million apiece.
I'll bet you'd like him if his last name was Switsticker.
Swazi. You ass.
Hey, can I get a cheap plug for my band?
Yes, Kevin.
JerryandTheNewcomers.com. We want to get a gig at F.H. Riley.
Ooh.
400 New York Avenue, Huntington Station.
My brother's restaurant. We could, if you want to work cheap, we'll get you in.
No, we work cheap.
We don't have much money yet. We gotta get more people into the place first.
We got the best bar band in Nassau County. We're going to get out to Huntington there and play at F.H. Riley.
Next time you're at FH, introduce yourself to my brother.
I sure will.
All right, thanks,
so
Jerry.
So glad to be finally on satellite with you guys. Love every minute of it. Laugh too hard during the day and get in trouble.
Right on. Thanks, buddy.
Bye, mister.
All right, all the best. Be
All
safe.
right, cool. Yeah, we love the cops. Absolutely. John in Texas, what's going on?
Thankless job.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
That's part of this job is when we go in the middle of the night. I'm a federal marshal, and we wake these guys up to pick them up, and they look at you and they say, "Hey, how you doing?" And like they don't know we're coming for them. especially after we've just kicked in their door.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
What are you here for? I didn't do anything.
We have a breaker bar that we go in the door, and on the side of it says, "May I come in, please?"
Oh, that's funny. Very good.
Texas Federal Marshal.
Thank you, John.
A tough guy, man.
That is really funny. Brad in Cleveland. We're going to take a break here. We got Harry Shearer that's going to come in and say hi to us in a few minutes.
Right.
Brad, what's up?
Hey, back in February, Elo made mention he was going to have an announcement towards the end of March, something that the pests have been requesting, and wanted to see if you had any info on that.
Yeah, you guys got something done. They're bringing back a fine channel. I think Elo's going to be on the show today to talk about that and other things. Hopefully we'll get him on maybe after the break or something.
Sweet. Hopefully it's liquid metal.
You're going to have to wait and see.
Love you, Jimmy.
Thank you, mister.
What about me?
I love you too, buddy.
All right. Thanks, Brad.
I'll miss you next week.
Aw. Hey, we got a coyote loose in Central Park. We're trying to get the news stories because, look, There it is. Coyote on the loose.
Coyote on the loose.
And they're just showing an aerial shot of Central Park. Where could it be? Where could it be?
Saw him.
So that's the big story in New York today. We're dying to hear the news reports because you know they're just like getting out of control with this.
Panicky Pete.
Yeah.
Are
your kids in danger?
Well,
the danger?
Well, there's a leprechaun on the loose in Alabama. What? I swear to God, this is a real news story.
Why can't we have the leprechaun?
Turns out it was just a Jew in a green sweater. They've never seen one there.
Listen to this story.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun say yeah?
Uh-oh.
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff. And it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
We're going to get down to the bottom of this. Yeah, it's still on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off spells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm going to run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where the gold is. I want the gold. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
Believe it or not, this is happening in the same country
No way.
that we live in.
I thought Chappelle's show wasn't coming back for another season. That could not be a real newscast.
That's a real news story.
They actually did figure out what it was.
From Mobile, Alabama.
Yes.
Yes, Jimmy?
It turns out what they were looking at was a black gentleman with leprosy.
No, that's not a leprechaun, Jimmy.
Oh.
Close.
Oh, my God, that old gag. You fucking asshole. Too bad the coyote didn't get you last night.
Yeah, well, it almost did. You say that now because I'm here, but how would you feel if it was just a pair of shoes?
I think you have some traumatic stress from that attack.
Post-traumatic stress disorder?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
I do.
That's why I'm trying not to bring it up. You know, I see you kind of get scared.
Yeah, because I feel like the animal put something in me, like Nicholson had in Wolf.
Oh, there you go. How funny is that story, though? That's in Mobile,
That's
Alabama.
a great one.
I want to go.
They're,
Don't give me backhoe and uproot that tree.
They swear there's a leprechaun loose down there, and the locals are looking for the leprechaun and the gold and everything else.
Malt liquor will do that.
This is this is in America, yes.
No, Opie, that's where you're mistaken. That is nowhere near America. That is some faraway land.
Well, now the pissed off Southerners start calling. Reno and Mississippi. Reno.
Oh, you guys kill us.
That's a
we
real
look like such idiots down here in the South.
That's a real news story down there.
Oh, God. I know those people. I see them every day. Every day.
Must be a crackhead. That must be a crackhead. Got a hold of some bad stuff.
And now it's up in the tree.
It's bad, but
you can't defend yourself today, Reno. Take it.
No, that's
Terrible.
it.
Later.
All right.
Goodbye, Goose.
Let's go to a local in Alabama. Doesn't even want to say his name. Local in Alabama.
Who?
What's
Hey,
up,
you're on.
local?
Hey, this is Russell.
Russell, what's up? It says local on the phone.
Nice screening. Nice screening. Travis.
I am local, I guess. I swear all of us don't sound like that. You tell what kind of neighborhood that came from, right?
Yes.
No. What kind?
They really believe there's a leprechaun loose.
Oh, is that right? I don't know.
We know there's a coyote loose in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Sure. A leprechaun, though, come on.
Well,
We're going to have to play that again. That's way
There's
too funny.
no such thing.
That's almost as good as Boo Got Shot, by the way.
Yeah.
By the way, I sent that in. My brother emailed it to me, and I emailed it to Steve, so I just want to let you know why you brought that up.
Oh, that's you sent it in, Russell?
Yes, sir.
Oh, you rock. You gave us gold today.
Thank you.
That was a real news report, right?
Yeah, that was it. That's a bunch of damn idiots down there, dude. Some of us are educated, some of us are not, but you can't Can't blame us all, though.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Russell.
I appreciate it. Punching out.
All right, there you go. Unbelievable. All right. With that, we should take our first break, I guess.
Righto.
We got Harry Shearer stopping by to say hi. That should be fun. What?
I don't know. Steve just walked in.
What's up, Steve?
Just passing a note.
Oh, passing notes. Would you like to
What's the note
read
say?
it for the entire
Nothing.
studio?
All right, write your note.
Write the note.
Okay, write it. Here he goes. 1 jar honey.
Yes.
Some nuts and berries.
Pillow for cave.
Harry Shearer's here. Couldn't you just walk up to the mic and say that?
Why is that a secret?
It's not a secret. I was trying not to interrupt.
Oh.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Why don't you hologram it in?
I will.
Oh, my God. Did he write it out or did he put it in?
Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
And he actually put HSIH, code.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Why don't you GYY? I screwed up.
Yeah. That'll, yes, well. Who can blame you, though? You're a little...
I'm frazzled up.
I'm sure you didn't sleep much last night after the coyote incident.
I'm a survivor.
Yes, you are.
I feel like I'm coming out of a bad dream.
Celine Dion's going to sing a song for you later today, I think. All right, why don't we take our first break? Harry Shearer joins the program next. All right, we're back with the Opie and Anthony program on this fine Whip 'em Out Wednesday. We still need a caller to describe WoW to everybody out there. We'll do that in a little while, but first we got to say hi to Harry Shearer, Mr. Burns from The Simpsons.
Bring in Harry.
One of many things Mr. Shearer has done with his fine career.
That's him.
Hey, Harry, how are you, buddy?
Guys, how are you?
Good, what's
Welcome
up?
to the Opie and Anthony program.
Thank you, my pleasure.
I always thought it would be a little odd to do radio with you because you parody it so well in various forms.
What do you mean? What do you mean, baby?
I've seen certain things on The Simpsons and where it's always the wacky radio guys.
Oh, yeah, we do. I forget about Bill and Marty. We don't do them very often.
Bill and Marty.
Bill and Marty. Yeah.
And it's always the most hack radio.
It is.
Ever.
We actually try
so
to,
accurate.
We actually try to talk with our own voices. We try not to hack it up.
That's where you blaze a new trail. I don't think I think Bill and Marty are kind of from the past. I mean, as you go around the country, there's a lot that's wrong with radio.
But there's still a few of them out there.
Are they?
They're still doing it.
But you don't hear a lot of guys talking with that part of them.
Yes, you do.
The boss jacks.
The boss jacks of the old days.
The one thing that really gets me, though, is it's always a light-haired guy and a dark-haired, curly-haired guy with a goatee. And I'm like, fuck, man, maybe we ought to shave or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna dye my hair pink or something.
Just do something to
Just
make
mess
it not
up
look
the
like
stereotypes
the
of
stereotypical radio guys.
Yeah, we mess with the radio voices all the time,
Yeah,
and all the hacky bits that radio guys do.
Oh man, and I grew up with a generation of them, and they like the station that was competing with KHJ in Los Angeles, always second, always not as good, KRLA. And the first time I went in there and saw that these guys, the saddest thing I saw was these guys weren't even listening to their own show on the air. They were listening to the competition. It was so like, what's KHJ playing today?
Oh, okay, yeah.
What are they saying? What are they saying in their 15 seconds where they can get to talk, you know?
Radio guys in general are very paranoid.
Yeah, so pathetic.
It is a weird business. You did radio?
Oh, I was with this group called the Credibility Gap, David Lander and Michael McKeon, and we would come in every 3 hours and do these comedy newscasts and get so many more listeners and so much more mail than the jocks that were doing the music shows.
So the jocks must have loved that.
Loved that.
Yeah.
Loved that. But so we were doing these 10-minute comedy shows and pre-taping them just before they go on the air, throwing the tapes down from the production studio to the air studio. And very exciting and having a lot of fun and getting very high. And and these jocks were just like, machine-tooled automatons, They could read their little cards and keep their little clock going. And Man, it was so fucking lame. And
sad. The liner cards.
The liner cards.
Don't forget to promote 2 for Tuesday.
Exactly.
Oh, great.
And but listening, they did. And I said to him one day, "Hey, man, if you're not even listening to your own show, why do you expect anybody else to?"
Oh, no. Sure, they loved hearing that,
yeah,
too.
Yeah. We didn't last long there.
Well, got to ask you about what one of your most popular roles, Derek Smalls.
Yes.
Yeah. And you probably get asked this all the time, but I have to ask you: Did you ever think filming that one that it was going to be, what is it now? 60 years later, that people are
72,000 years later.
People are still fascinated with the movie.
I know, it's
and
amazing.
Musicians just take it on as their own. It's like a documentary for every band out there.
It's amazing, and not just rock bands. I have jazz guys and bluegrass guys and country guys and classical players who say, "Man, we travel, we take that."
It's the same dynamic.
It is.
You're dealing with a bunch of artistic people, or some people that think they're artistic.
Quasi-artistic.
Yeah, and you have to work together.
Yeah.
And the conflicts that you're in, it hit it so on the head that I was amazed that it wasn't an actual documentary.
Well, some people who saw it originally before there was any promotion or understanding would come up and say, "Why didn't they make that movie about a good band?"
Yeah, right.
Thinking that it was a real documentary. No, the answer to "Did you ever think?" is no, not in a million years. And to show you how much we didn't think, it was just such a miracle to get the movie made, and B, to get it released.
Mm-hmm.
The company was run by Jerry Perenchio. Have you ever heard of him? Former fight promoter, for starters, who went into partnership with Norman Lear for like a minute and a half to run a soon-to-be bankrupt movie company, which was the one that made our film. And Norman left to pursue browner pastures, and Jerry, we're left in the hands of Jerry, who didn't want to make the movie in the first place, and said, "If the first 2 critics who see this movie don't like it, it ain't getting out."
Wow.
I mean, that's how close it came to never being seen. So and he runs Univision now, the Mexican TV channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
There you go.
he's a piece of work.
There you go.
Just to have a company where all your employees speak a language you don't understand, which I guess is
that could
true.
be a good thing.
That's every company in radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Where did the information come from? Because what's in that movie is information that you only get from being in a touring rock band.
Yeah.
No matter if it's a small scale or a large scale, because we've all done band things, and I was in a band for many years before I did radio.
What did you play?
I was a singer, and my brother was a guitarist, and there was always. I remember being in the studio and hearing things like, you can't play the fucking guitar, you can't play like the arguments, and then there was the other guys that didn't have as much power going, "Oh shit, this is all we fucking need."
That's right.
And the dynamic between the guy that has the power in the band, and there's usually 2 guys at loggerheads all the time, and then the other guy's the guy that kind of sit back and take the shit. You only get that by being in a band. So who was the one that had that experience?
Well, Michael McKean had been in a band called The Left Bank. They had done a hit called Walk Away Renee. And Pretty Ballerina was their follow-up that was a semi-hit, and he joined the band right after they'd had their hits.
Oh, boy. Fantastic. Great timing.
Whoops. Yeah. And he and Chris had been in a band together as well, but that didn't arise to that level of prominence. And then, Michael and I had been in a comedy group that toured, so we had some of the same experiences except without having to lug musical instruments along. And then we had, I was friends with the manager of the Grateful Dead, so
there you go.
I spent a lot of time around that band. And then our original keyboard player, we had hired this brilliant guy named, I'm going to blow his name, so I won't say it, had to leave because we couldn't get the movie made. And he said, "Guys, I got to take a gig." So he goes on the road with Uriah Heep. And comes back and tells us some stories.
A few stories.
Yeah, and so the whole thing was the what we wanted to do. We didn't want to make a movie about Spinal Tap. We started out wanting to make a movie that just got rock and roll right. Because we'd gotten so pissed off at seeing all these movies that kept bullshitting about rock and roll. And, right down to showing people playing guitar who were doing impossible things that you weren't hearing. It was like, oh, come on. Doesn't anybody know what it looks like when you play a guitar? We just thought, fuck, man, can't they get this right? So that was our kind of. It wasn't something that we said as a motto or that we took an oath every morning like Japanese auto workers. It was just something that we had in our minds, and so we never made anything up. We just took stuff that we knew and the stuff that that people told us from that world and wove it together.
Just nailed it. Did you ever hear the Eddie Van Halen rumor about when Van Halen sat down and watched it?
No.
I heard this when the movie was released, that Van Halen sat down and watched it, and everyone's laughing, and Eddie at one point turned around and said, "This isn't fucking funny," which says it all. Man.
Well, a lot of guys have said that to us. I couldn't watch that fucking movie, man. It was too close to my life.
To this day, it's a great watch.
Yeah, it still holds up.
And
it definitely holds up.
And I met somebody, not Rob Halford, but somebody from Judas Priest. We were doing the tail end of all the rock bands doing or music artists doing charity all-star gigs was a thing called Hear in Aid, done by heavy metal bands.
Oh, right.
I remember that.
Yes, Hear in Aid.
Hear in Aid. And they invited us, Michael and me, to the session. And so these guys were just, and we thought, they're going to be pissed at us because we made fun of them and made them look like idiots. And they're just so thrilled. And
you were rock stars to the
we
rock stars.
We were rock stars to the rock stars. And one guy in Priest comes up and says, "Oh man, it was such a great movie. It's like our lives. I mean, last night we were in San Diego. I couldn't find my way to the fucking stage."
Now, from an incredible high like that, and then I noticed, I remember, and just because of reading, you were part of the SNL cast during the not too popular years.
Which ones were those?
I wanted to ask you that.
No, I was there for the last year of the original cast. And then I came back with Bill.
As a writer?
No, as a cast member who almost never got on the air.
You must have. Yeah, I was just going to say you must have really been a lot of characters.
Don't ask.
The last year of the original cast.
Yes, sir. It was Dan. Dan and John had left, so it was Gilda, Bill, Lorraine, Jane, Garrett, and me.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you
some
were
parties, huh?
Did you? Yeah.
No kidding.
But weren't you then? Also with the transitional cast?
No.
You weren't with that?
No, I left.
Kick me in the ass,
Alfie. Yeah.
Well, no shit. I thought you were in there with
Gilbert Gottfried.
Billy Crystal years or something.
I was there 1 year. Wait.
Mr. Shearer.
Wait. That was 5 years later. It was Christopher Guest, Martin Short.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I went. There was also Jim Belushi and Billy Crystal, yes.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my problem.
Okay.
Well, it was my problem. It wasn't my doing.
All right. It must have been rough, though, after Belushi and Aykroyd left to try to keep that energy going.
Listen.
That's tough to follow.
Drugs.
That place is,
It is what it is.
Marty Short used to say, I walk in this building and I don't feel funny.
Really?
Yeah, it's just so...
God, we hear that from so many of the guys that
I know
used to
a lot
work
of the
there.
cast members really have a hard time
and it's
bringing it up.
Here's a clue. It's not the architecture.
Okay. Right. Couple issues with a few of the people. Do you have any good times there?
Good time.
No.
Well, I mean, doing synchronized swimming was fun.
One of the classic bits of SNL.
Yeah. That was fun. Getting to know Marty because I'd known him through Paul Schaefer, who was a friend of mine, but I'd never worked with him before, and he's one of the good people in comedy.
How do we get to call him Marty?
Yeah,
we can only call him
Martin.
Yeah,
I always thought it was odd like that. And
on Johnny Carson,
it goes back to Carson, years ago, and it's like, hey, and Chuck Heston. I was talking with Chuck Heston. It's like, that's Charlton.
That's Charlton.
Chuck. Who's Chuck Heston?
We don't have the privilege of calling him Chuck.
I have no stars that I can call by their common name.
Yeah, we can't call him
except
Marty.
Jimmy. Jimmy actually. Robert De Niro was passing by and he wanted a picture, and he put his hand on Robert De Niro's arm and went, Bob, and
called him
got
Bob.
Turned down so quickly. This little creep.
I don't think it was the Bob. I think it was the Breathe Right strip.
Yeah, it could have been.
Well, I didn't have that.
He asked me to take a picture with him. I said, "You want to wear the strip or not?" And he said, "Oh yeah, I want to wear the strip."
It's amazing what they do with Photoshop. They'll just take it out. I
have to because I have the rest of the show to do. If I was leaving, I would definitely take it off. But
how many pictures do you have now with celebrities and your Breathe Right?
I only do that here, and I'm obviously a couple. I wouldn't have thought of it if Harry didn't say it. So probably a couple that I'm not even aware
You're
of.
Going for an endorsement.
Yeah, we're not aware of the Breathe Right
he is. He's going for an endorsement
He's
deal.
in every day with that stuff.
Yeah, I always wear. I have to. I have bad nose.
How long you been with The Simpsons now?
Since they started.
You were there right from the start.
17 years.
Yeah.
I
yes.
think that, you guys are up to 17 years. I think?
We're starting season 18 right now. Yeah.
Wow.
How'd you hook up with that? That seems like...
Matt Groening was a fan of my radio show. I was a fan of this thing that he did, which was not the comic strip. He did this wonderful column for one of the local alternative weeklies in the 80s, which was called Record Mix. And the idea was that Matt was supposed to review records, but he didn't want to review records. So he wrote this really funny column every week about what he did instead of reviewing records.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's like you
Good
could only do
concept.
that. Yeah, but he's a funny writer.
When
And-
did you realize that it wasn't going to be just another audition and it was gold?
Well,
because guys like you guys, you're going on a million things, and some work, some don't.
Well,
and
yeah,
this
but
thing was just. When did you know?
I guess it's kind of caught on beginning of we did a short first season that started in January, and I mean, look, the Fox network was a friggin' joke back then.
yeah.
Not to say that it's not a friggin' joke now, but it's a big friggin' joke. Back then, it was just a tiny little piece of crap.
Right.
And nobody thought that was going to be around. I mean, they had every affiliate they had was a channel 50 or up.
Yeah,
and
they gave a lot of I guess they didn't have much of a choice, but they gave a lot of time to new shows.
Yeah, they
back then.
didn't have a choice.
Yeah, because they had no show to replace.
Yeah,
them.
I mean, if you look at the schedule that we were on with, The New Adventures of Beans Baxter, George C. Scott as Mr. President. I mean, the shows that they had on that schedule with us were just like, come on, it's a joke schedule. So I think about the beginning of season 2, we started to take off because there was so much criticism of us.
Mm-hmm.
There were all these fundamentalists going, "This is a bad role model, and the kid shouldn't watch the show." And of course,
because no one was doing that type of TV before The Simpsons.
That's
Now you
right.
got a lot of the adult cartoons that are hitting.
Yeah, you got South Park, which is far
Family
far
Guy
beyond
and-
us. Yeah.
When did the focus switch from like Bart to Homer? It seemed like Bart was intended to be the star of the show, and then it became Homer.
That's a good question from a guy with a freeze-write script.
But if I didn't have this, you wouldn't have understood the question. I would have been sniffling.
When do you think it happened with Bart?
Do you think that?
I don't know. I think it was a very subtle thing. I mean, look, we're not. I'll tell you how deeply involved we are in the show. The cast is involved in the show. I started doing interviews this week here in New York to promote my CD and DVD, and somebody asked me, "Hey, you guys just got signed up for season 18 and 19," and I said, "Really?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put it out to Reuters before telling us.
Yeah.
So, whatever decisions were being made about whether it was Bart or Homer was not revealed. We didn't get the memo. Let's put it that way.
You do that from home, or is it like the easiest gig ever?
No. No, we have
At
to
least
go
drive
in.
into a studio.
Yeah.
Because believe me, I hear from
nowadays
some
you don't
voice
have to.
people where it's
sure.
like, I have my the
ISDN.
Yeah,
I have
ISDN.
one of those for doing other
I go
stuff.
into my den and
Yeah. The guy who you hear in every city going, Channel 2 News at 5, does that in his pajamas from his den.
Yeah.
You know that. Today on Channel 2 News at 5, what you need to know before you go shopping for frozen food. That guy is in his pajamas. You know that.
Coyote in Central Park. What could it mean for your children?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Some coyote food today. It's weird. It's a great job. We do go into the studio and do it together most of the time. But it's
there's a genuine interaction between
Yes.
the characters.
Yes.
Maybe that's why it works out
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah. So you got the DVD and the CD.
Oh my God! Yes, I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're releasing two things at once.
I know.
Are you crazy?
Am I nuts? Well, what I wanted to do was release them as a package, and I found out that the record business has no package, no way of packaging something that is a separate DVD and CD.
You brought it up at a meeting, and they just started pounding the table. They had no comprehension of.
No, I mean this is our company, so I just called the manufacturer and I said, "What do you?" It's not a DVD of us playing the music that's on the CD. It's not like that. It's not a CD. It's not an enhanced CD ROM or something like that. It's a real CD, comedy CD, that's completely different material from what's on the DVD. And they said, well, we don't have any packaging for that.
We don't know how to do that.
We don't know how to do that. So I had to release them as two separate items. But
You couldn't package it just as a double DVD to save yourself money on the packing?
They don't know how to do that.
No,
they can put double CDs in there.
Yeah, but then how do you say on the package?
Right.
Yeah. How do you wrap
This
it?
is
put a
whole
sticker.
other. a sticker that says, no, this is a whole other CD. It's not like a CD of the stuff that's on the DVD. You know,
People won't know what they have.
That's right.
Why not release this and then 6 months later release this?
Wow.
I hate you.
You're boggling his
I hate
mind
you, man.
here.
No, look, the CD I wanted out soon because it's about all the people from all the anchors from the TV news operations that have gone away in the last year and a half.
That's what I was reading that, and one thing close to my heart because I have done that character on this program is the Tom Brokaw, and that L. He just has a problem with it, and I can't get enough of watching him on television.
A Lockheed L-1011 jetliner crash landed over Bogalusa, Louisiana today.
There it is.
Killing all 111 people on board. I have to say...
One of my favorites was, and Leon Klinghoffer pushed from the deck of the Achille Lauro
by Palestinian hijackers. The Italian cruise liner Achille Lauro. Leave us not forget. Here's the weird thing. They can't say they didn't know. Because he was anchoring local news on Channel 4 in Los Angeles.
God damn.
And his co-anchor was Kelly Lang. Kelly Lang. He had to say fucking Kelly Lang, and I will be back at 11. Every day. What were they thinking? No, let's bring him to the White House. I like the cut of his jib.
Yeah, one of the most successful news anchors ever with a
You would think they would have just changed her name.
No, but I mean,
why not? People change their name all the
job
time.
entails L's.
The job
you have to say L.
All he has to do is pronounce 26 letters in the alphabet, and he's 26th of the way there. You know, it's not a complicated job.
You think he went to a speech pathologist?
With
behind the scenes, just trying to figure out that L?
If he did, it only made him worse.
It did get worse as the years went on.
It got way worse, man. If he went to a speech pathologist, he said to him, here's the trick. Just have a mouthful of oatmeal when you go in there. They won't notice the L's.
Well, it worked out for him.
Yeah, it did. So it's all those folks. It's Dan, Tom, Barbara Walters, Ted Koppel, who gets the first cut on the CD is Mickey Mouse cuts him a new one in a meeting, and then he later on shows up in the show he would have done it. He stayed with ABC, which is sort of they smush his format together with Dave Letterman, so he's got Paul Schaefer as his band leader, and he gets to do interviews with like Dr. Zbigniew Brzezinski, but Brzezinski keeps getting dumped in a tub of oatmeal during the interview because it's stupid professor tricks. So
it's called Harry Shearer Dropping Anchors.
Yeah,
I see a cut on here. If JFK had lived,
that's a Tom Brokaw Investidrama.
Investidrama.
An NBC News Investidrama.
I love the sarcasm with the news, man. We touch on it all the time here. We do a segment just where we play news teasers, and the fear mongering that they try to, and they can't let you know in the teaser what the problem is.
Of course not.
They gotta, because it's all about roping you in to watch the news broadcast. So it's like your children are playing with a toy right now that could kill them. We'll tell you at 11.
Tell me now.
Yeah. Can your car kill you? I gotta go to the store. I gotta leave now.
We got the best news tease ever. Listen to this really fast. That's quick.
One city wants to pack all their sex offenders into a 3-block area. Problem is, it could be right next to your house.
What?
Get out of here.
Oh.
Now I got what?
But wait, my kids are walking this.
Exactly.
Now, if you really think about it, that cannot happen.
Yeah.
What politician? All sex offenders in my area here.
I'll take them. I'll take them.
Take them up. Bring them in.
We know what to do with them in the 6th Ward.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Get away with that.
The other one I hate is, here's what we're working on for tomorrow. Well, if you know what it's going to be tomorrow, tell me fucking today.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Don't work on it. Tell me.
It seems to be done and ready to go.
I love it. It really is it's entertainment. It's about rating. It's no longer the
We can't get enough of it.
I used to.
We
when
mock
I grew
it all
up,
the time on this program.
When I grew up, it was and because they didn't have all the graphics and fancy equipment they have now, but it was a desk and a clock.
Yep.
And the guy telling you what the hell was going on, period.
Yeah.
Now it's got to be, the attention span of a gnat everything's got to be flashy, and you got to throw graphics at everybody.
Well, of course, that's why they had to get rid of Aaron Brown, because he just moved too slowly in the modern age.
People don't want to hear that. They
people don't
want
to see tomorrow's papers tonight. No. They want to see tomorrow's promos tonight.
You ever read the ticker so long that you get up and spin around and hit the floor? I've gotten up and thought I had a tumor because I'd be reading the ticker, and then you get up and everything in your room starts going the opposite way that the ticker went.
You know what you have to do? Watch Al Jazeera to get yourself
to get it going the other way. That's right. I was doing a headstand a half hour before I stopped watching the ticker just so it would go the other way.
Here's the weird thing that I only realized when I talked to one of these people. Like I met one in Atlanta or something. Those are jobs.
Yeah.
What's your job? I write the ticker at the bottom of the CNN thing, and there's they spend 8 hours sitting and typing that.
Just typing away?
Yeah. That's a job now.
That's a job.
Thanks to 9/11.
Yeah.
There wasn't a ticker before 9/11.
Wasn't that? Now it's needed.
Yeah.
It's not just. Also, the Fox News alert. Make a lot of fun of that. When it first started. When I hear that in the background,
this is a Fox News alert.
I trip over my own ass to try to see what was happening.
TV.
Because last time I heard it, buildings were falling down.
Yeah.
So perhaps it's important. And now it's traffic on the FDR. What? Yeah. I know. It's there every day.
Yeah.
It's all about fear-mongering, panicking. They made a sound that now scares you. You're like Pavlov's dog.
That's right.
Getting petrified at sounders.
That's right. And then, when they actually start telling you stuff, this generation we thought couldn't get sillier than these pompous assholes who were, pretending that they knew stuff that they didn't. They just sat and read prompters, and if they weren't reading prompters, they'd put on a safari jacket, fly 10,000 miles, ask the crew, "What's the mood here?" and then do a special. We thought it couldn't get worse than that, and now there's this Anderson Cooper who doesn't know shit but just feels the news better than you do.
And he looks the part.
Yeah.
He's prematurely gray.
Yeah.
The women love him.
The women love him.
Well, they wore his mama's jeans.
Yeah,
Anderson, I wore your mama's jeans.
That's right.
And he'll just go to the location of the hurricane and talk to some locals.
But it's just about feelings. It's like he's the male Oprah,
Yeah.
And it's just
Well, it's all about hurricanes and shark attacks now, too.
Well, the shark attacks.
We have a lot of fun with the shark attacks, and the hurricane coverage is just out of control.
And the bird flu.
And
very scared, right. Very petrified. Do you know almost 100 people worldwide have died of the bird flu?
I know.
It's a pandemic.
Listen, if I were a chicken, I'd be very scared right now.
Right, be petrified.
Yeah,
There's
be
probably
very afraid.
chicken news that has them running around the hen house just scared shitless.
Well, the CD looks good. It's called Dropping Anchors. So that's one project.
That's one project.
That is completely different than the DVD.
That's correct.
Now move on to the newer, different project.
We don't want to confuse the listeners. This should have came out 6 months from now, but he has decided.
I oughta.
If you release a CD and a DVD, you do know that if you release one, normally DVD should come first, and then if you release a CD after, within 5 or 6 months after it probably sells 60 to 70% better.
Hey, it'll be there in the stores. I'm not going to take marketing advice from a guy with a strip on his fucking nose.
Although he's marketing a strip very well.
It's going to say Nike across that or something soon. With product placement with Jimmy Norton. The DVD's called Now You See It. What's this about, Harry?
That's all my stuff from, it's not all my stuff, but it's the stuff I like best from SNL and my HBO specials and a couple things that have never been seen before because there were some assholes at NBC.
Great.
Yeah.
Harry.
Oh, some of the bits that never made air or something?
Yeah, one. In particular, I did a show, a really stupid fucking show that was Brandon Tartikoff, the great dead genius of NBC.
Right, yes.
Not that smart. Punky Brewster, ladies and gentlemen. Super Train, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, Super Train.
Super
We all
Train.
remember that.
Yeah.
It's like the Love Boat on rails.
On rails.
How can it lose?
How can it lose?
Oh,
I don't even remember that.
Super Train. It was a super train.
How can you not get the concept?
Guest
It was a
stars
super train.
from series of the time joining in and falling in love and having problems with their families and
then they get off
of a train.
Where were they going on the train?
Nowhere.
Nowhere, just like the show.
Like the show. So this genius comes up with a, hey, we're losing every Sunday night at 7 to 60 minutes. We can't counter-program 60 minutes. Nobody will watch anything we put on. So let's really put on nothing. He came up with a show called Sunday Best, which was let's take good stuff that's been on during the week and repackage it and have Carl Reiner host it. And then somebody said, Brandon, the affiliates won't carry that. You have to have something original. So he hired Merrill, Marco, and me to do original pieces for the show, intermixed with all this crap. And then I can't even remember the guy's name. The guy who runs the WB network now.
Ben Sparks?
No, Ben Sparks. It's not Ben Sparks. He doesn't run anything in television.
He's the right guy.
But good with a name. Anyway, he runs the show, and I do this piece, which I really liked, which was somehow Richard Nixon finds himself in the middle of an infomercial for a magical product that cleans your teeth and takes stains off your clothing. And it's the best Nixon I ever did. The makeup is amazing, and the guy just refuses to run it. And the show dies anyway, but... So I had that piece, and I thought, I want people to see that. So that's on there, too.
Very cool, yeah.
But it's Synchronized Swimming, and Mike Wallace with Mickman Novelties, and my David Copperfield meets...
Wait, that was you as Mike Wallace?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
fuck,
Mike
man.
Wallace.
They show that the comedy club, the Stress Factory in Jersey, before the show. A lot of times they'll show old SNL clips. They show the Synchronized Swimming. And that Mike Wallace is with the whoopee cushions, right?
Yeah.
That is a funny
really good.
fucking bit, man. I had no idea that was you.
Yeah.
God damn, that's good.
Thank you. Yeah. That's the idea. Is like a lot of stuff I've done, people didn't know it was me because I look different. So
You know, I was in Vegas recently, and I decided to go old school and go see David Copperfield.
Yeah.
The first 20 minutes of the show was clips about him.
Yeah.
Of course. From every TV show that mentioned him.
So you're saying he made your money disappear?
Oh my! It was. I have to say, it was god awful. But the first 20 minutes was just a montage of every show saying, "What are you, David Copperfield?" Over and over, and then all his press clippings.
But he makes the money disappear, but without that byproduct of entertaining.
That's correct. That's
You
the
know?
magic.
Yeah, that's the magic.
Yeah.
Anyone can make your money disappear, but then you get
Something
entertainment back.
Did
Nothing.
he didn't have anything of me doing him, right?
Absolutely, he did.
He did?
Yes, that's what I'm
wow.
saying.
He had me?
Whoever mentioned...
I'm suing his fucking ass off.
Whoever mentioned David Copperfield, it was everything from Friends to, I believe, The Simpsons to every show.
Oh,
it
my
was
God.
just one after another just saying, what are you, David Copperfield? David Copperfield, blah, blah, blah. Just feeding his own ego.
Super montage.
I was so disappointed. The year before, I saw Circus Soleil, and I went from that to David Copperfield this year.
Hey, you want?
What are you doing?
You want to do something good for yourself next time you go to Vegas? See Rickles. He's still great.
I love Don Rickles.
Oh man,
absolutely, one of my faves.
I
of
saw
all
the
time.
last 2 minutes of him. I was doing. I was working with a guy, Jim Florentine and Dice. We were doing a late nasty show at the Stardust, and it was Rickles and Harvey Korman were on the early show. But we couldn't. No, I'm sorry. It was Tim Conway and Harvey Korman. Rickles was there another time on the early show. I saw like the last 5 minutes.
So this really has nothing to do with what we were talking
No, but I said Rickles.
You turned it into Rickles, and then Rickles wasn't even in the picture. How did you do that?
I'll tell you how.
That's the magic.
I had two different fantastic stories. Because I understand, I was involved in an animal attack last night.
Well, not coyote. Jimmy had a run for his life from a coyote last night, so he's not completely with us today.
Yeah, it was like I lose children. Like I was.
It's a little
rescuing.
distracted.
Maybe you should have brought in the coyote to tell the story.
No, I had one incident with Rickles.
Did he have a helicopter backpack and was trying to drop some type of weight on your head?
Well, I guess nobody wants to hear the story, but it's a gem and it's everyone's loss.
Oh man, he's put us in our place.
I
hasn't he?
think we'll make it.
Yeah.
We'll pull through anyway.
But Rickles, I saw him a year ago. John Landis, who's friends with Rickles, said you gotta come see Don Rickles in Vegas. You gotta come see. And I I've done another yak, but he's just
still
amazing.
doing it, huh?
He's fucking amazing, and he's like
God
prowling
damn.
the stage like a jaguar. You know,
He's
just-
the best at that sarcastic.
Oh my God,
humor.
How many years? Jesus Christ.
Oh God. Well, he
Forever.
started, in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you did.
Yeah, way back in the 50s. I remember.
Hey,
Spinning the hot wax, as they called it back then.
But you see him on stage, and you just can. I was in Vegas a couple years ago, saw him and saw Keely Smith and Sam Butera, and you just think, oh fuck, Sinatra's going to be standing at the door watching this, before you know it. But no.
No, he's still dead.
And instead, there was
nothing worse than when you're waiting for the dead guy to walk in on the show, and he's like,
That's right.
"Fuck,"
and it never
That's
happened.
right.
The show's over. He's not here.
All right.
But now you read. I read the story in Vegas. They have to. A lot of the acts now have to pay to play showrooms. They have to rent the showroom, hire the musicians,
Make their own money from ticket sales?
Yeah, and do their own promotion.
That's like what happened with shit bands, like
On the
around
Sunset
Long
Strip,
Island.
yeah.
You used to have to sell your own tickets.
Yeah, now they're
to
doing
your
it.
friends.
Now they're doing it on the Strip in Vegas.
Wonderful.
Goulet was at the Venetian Room and couldn't make it because he was like, that's what he was doing there.
Oh, wow.
And not the Venetian Room, the Venetian Hotel. And it's like, the Venetian? Are you kidding me? They have to have a guy pay to play in the showroom at the Venetian?
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Harry, they're telling us you have to go.
Uh-oh.
They're telling us you
And
have to go.
I wanted to hear Jimmy's story. But
We all
It's
did.
just fun. There's a lot of laughs in it and a few tears, but next time.
Well, we've had the tears.
Don't
All
tear
right,
up your breathe right.
let's get the plugs out. The DVD is out. It's called Now You See It, and there's a CD out, which is completely different from the DVD called Harry Shearer Dropping Anchors, right?
Yep.
And anything else you want to promote today? Simpsons and all that fun stuff.
Everybody.
It
Simpsons
continues to
Simpsons
roll.
can
They're
milk
going to
themselves.
watch it.
Yeah, they're going to
I know,
watch it.
exactly.
I want a signed DVD. That Mike Wallace bit is fucking hilarious. I had no
Thank
idea
you.
that was you. That really is funny.
Well, thank you, Jimmy.
Harry.
I appreciate that. We'll
Thank
look
you.
into that for you.
All right. Thank
Thanks,
you, Harry.
guys. Pleasure.
We'll continue with the Opie and Anthony Show in just a bit. Get us out of here for a little while, Derek. This is the Opie and Anthony program on XM Satellite Radio.
Let's fix it because I got to
Whip
sell
'em out
tickets.
Wednesday! Someone describe WOW for everybody, please. Please.
It's
No, not you, Jimmy.
but I'm good at it.
No, you're not.
I give good descriptions.
You're
In high
not-
school, I was voted most likely to give an accurate description.
You're still not yourself from the big Coyote experience that you had last
I'm
night.
like Jeff Bridges in Fearless. I'm just challenging everything new. I'm unafraid because I've survived death.
I like that reference, by the way. Nice. All right, Harry Shearer was a lot of fun.
Oh, did I get him when he left?
Did you?
Whether you forgot something.
Oh.
Yeah, all the way back.
You forgot something, and then we watched them come all the way back. It was frightening to watch.
All right. Hey, we were talking about news teases during that last segment with Harry.
Yeah.
And we got brand new news teases. Look how this works. Sometimes it just works out for us.
Look at us now.
Look at us now.
Thanks, doll.
Look at us now, 2 days before vacation.
Look what we do now.
Look what we do. So we got brand new news teases. Also, we have, I want to play the leprechaun sighting thing again. Remind me to play this before we get out of here, please. And what else? Josh Elliott is here. That's Josh Elliott.
Yeah. And?
Or is that Josh Elliott?
That's Josh. Oh.
Or is that Josh Elliott? You or is that him or you? It's you? It's you. Okay. We're going to say hi to Josh Elliott in a little bit here. But first, we got to get through these news teases, okay?
Right.
All right. And also some other things on the way. Oh, the setup car, Anthony. We got that audio for you.
Oh, goody. I
And we-
love setup car.
And we got American Idol crap. And we also have Guess the Sound today.
It's like a regular radio show in here.
We're trying. We try harder every day. Coyote story. Oh, my God.
Oh, right now.
Right now, you need the Coyote?
Remove whatever you have in that disc player
right,
and put in Coyote Story, because this concerns Jimmy Norton.
For the rest of
and
America,
his safety.
For the rest of America, we're living in total fear here in Manhattan today.
Very scary day here in Manhattan. A coyote is loose in Central Park. What could it do?
Why aren't we in Central Park trying to get the coyote?
It could rip us to pieces.
We can be heroes.
Send out Bill.
Send Bill to go find the coyote?
Send Bill with a spear. I want him to spear the coyote.
Can't we send our own platoon into Central Park? Everyone else is.
Find a coyote.
This is like Jaws. There's
Yeah,
little
come
groups
on.
forming all over Manhattan to find the coyote because they know they would be big heroes.
If you get this coyote, you're
Can
on
we-
the news.
I'm not even kidding. Can we send a platoon? Do we have little weapons they could use? The Darth Vader mask.
What the hell is that going to do? Might as well take the monkey head.
And the monkey head. That'll help. I'm not even kidding. We should go.
And a few O&A signs for an assault on the media? No?
Yeah,
Oops.
Well, can maybe somebody...
We should
can't-
send our own platoon into Central Park to find the coyote.
Can't somebody actually go down there and tell them, like, run out and do some acting and tell the media, we saw the coyote, I know the coyote, and then when they start talking to you, you drop an O&A bomb? Can't somebody do that?
Yeah, there's
Yeah, we
nothing
could
wrong
do
with
that.
that. We're
I
not
got
allowed
the
to do the
coyote.
assault on the media thing anymore because we like our jobs, but
That's not an assault on the
That's
media.
not an assault on the media. Exactly. ELO has 10 minutes. We got a coyote freaking news story.
ELO
What-
has 10 minutes.
What
What
the hell
could
do we
ELO
do?
possibly be doing? That he only has 10 minutes for us now.
We're in a
I
major
thought we
panic.
were priority.
We don't know what to do now. Do we
we gotta
play
go
the
to
coyote news story? Do we go to ELO? Do we do the news teases? Or do we say hi to Josh Elliott?
We got to go to ELO.
Really?
Yeah.
ELO.
I'll move my meeting. Keep going with the coyote stuff with gripping radio.
ELO.
Hey, buddy.
ELO, before we get into anything, anybody talk to you about that thing?
About the what?
About that thing.
Yeah, the thing's going...
You know the thing with the other guy?
The thing is going down
I
again.
got a phone call this morning about the thing.
All right. What are we looking at here?
The thing?
The thing. Does it look good?
All I know about the thing is that the thing has gotten a little softer, as to use a term.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. But I want to know, because we're kind of into doing the thing.
Yeah, no, I think the thing's interesting, but I think the thing has a new layer of hair. I don't know.
I know. It's kind of a new thing.
Oh my God! There's a guy on a bike chasing the coyote in Central Park. Holy shit! Hold on, Elo.
Early this morning around 7 o'clock, there were reports of 2 sightings, both of them right here near the Wallman Rink. For a while, police
New York
had
is
this
losing
coyote
its mind.
cornered in an area between the rink and Central Park South. They were slowly surrounding this. The plan was to tranquilize the coyote and then transport him out of Central Park. Now, as wily, forgive the pun, as wily as the coyote may be, what he did was he swam across a pond under a bridge, actually cut through the grounds of the Wallman Rink itself, and has now escaped north into the vast expanses of Central Park once again. So the hunt continues. Once again, a reminder,
This has to
coyote
be a
doesn't
black
pose
coyote.
a threat to humans. However, they do remind you to keep your dogs on a leash if you're in Central Park. And we are live over Central Park. John Del Giorno, Channel 7, Eyewitness
Breaking
News.
news.
Keep a close eye
Coyotes.
on this. Thank you, John.
We'll
Let's
keep
go
a
to Joe
close
Dolan
eye.
for the morning commute.
Fucking
Jeff.
awful woman of indiscriminate race.
Yeah, you don't even know what.
She's awful.
She could be black, but she could be Indian.
Working in a chocolate factory.
And she has a little Italian to her, too.
A little
Who knows?
something. Who knows?
Something's
There was
going
a
on there.
pillaging 500 years ago.
Well, Elo, we kind of want to do the thing, so let's talk.
Yeah, I just found out about the thing this morning. I talked to the person and a possible rep, and confabbed with our people about the thing, and the thing's got a little more hair on it. But
All
we
right.
got to figure it out.
Let's figure out the thing.
The thing is back on track?
I don't know. Back on track, certainly.
Oh, boy.
Certainly
The thing ain't
certainly
happening.
the
ain't
red
happening.
lights flashing and
This
the
is corporate
crossing guards
crap.
coming down.
Because I'm hearing now
when
that
corporate guys use words like interesting,
I know.
The thing is no thing. It's just what it is.
I'm hearing the thing is
I've
more.
only heard about it, honestly, I just heard about the thing 45 minutes ago.
I'm hearing that the thing, the chance of the thing happening now rests more on people we know.
Like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm trying to understand exactly what the thing is.
Don't get in our way, Elo.
You guys know I would never do that.
We got some creative people. Let's try to figure out the thing.
Yeah,
The thing.
we'll figure
Okay.
out
It's
the
time to
thing.
figure out the thing.
All right, we're done with the thing. Now let's talk about the other thing that you're here to talk about.
Well, first of all, I posted. I don't know if you saw the email. I actually posted on.
Oh, by the way, this just
You
came.
posted on Whackfan?
Yeah. By the way, this just came in. Opie Coyote can't be black because it swam.
Oh, you take the stereotypes.
That was Sean
Now
from
stop
Pennsylvania,
it.
not me. I'm sorry. But this is breaking news. Elo is now posting on Whackbag.
On Whackbag, Elo is a pest.
Yes, Jesus.
Yeah, I did. It was late. I posted last night. I forwarded it.
Wait, can we find
Nice.
Elo's post?
Where's your post?
And then I want the comments afterwards. 'cause
Did you post a new topic?
No, it was under the Elo rumor thing.
Right, Elo's got his own thread. Like they speculate about Elo. Elo speculation threads.
Yeah, that's been
By the
going
way,
on for a
I tried
month.
to get my own screen name because it's so that website is so jacked up you can't even get a screen name. And
No.
I tried to get Elo, which
Oh,
I figured
stop. There are
if somebody
20
had
Elos.
That one.
You can't
Are
have
you
your
trying to
own name.
explain why you showed up on a Dateline NBC special?
I was trying to
Why I'm
post on
meeting girls at
Whackbag.
park benches.
You talked about sex.
So I had to come up with I sat there and spent 20 minutes trying to come up with a name because I couldn't have Elo.
Oh my God, what's your name on freaking Whackbag?
It's embarrassing.
What is it?
hold on.
Elo?
Well, I tried the comedy route. I tried something with hair and bowl cut. Those were all taken. So
Yeah. Did you try Elo with a 0 instead of an O?
no, I just put the real and capitalized real. Put the real Elo.
Oh, you're the real Elo.
Yeah.
All right.
And here's his post. Let me read it for everybody. Okay, first let me tell you that I have never posted on a board before, so this is odd. However, this thread caught my eye. I will call in tomorrow to the show with more information, assuming that Opie lets me on the air and doesn't, A, hang up on me, and B, doesn't run my haircut into the ground. No, that's Jimmy's bit.
I didn't say anything about it. What's wrong with his haircut?
Hopefully my news will bring joy to many of the whackbaggers. I guess that is what you call these people, Elo.
Look at Elo trying to fit in. That's cute.
I'm trying to use the vernacular, as we'd say.
Elo, were you jacking off on Pal Talk last night?
I was in my basement most of the night, so yeah.
Okay, just wondering.
All right, Elo, what do you got for us today?
All right, here we go. I said that we'd have a big announcement. Thursday morning, you guys will be able to break the seal on something that you guys have been hammering me on pushing me to do and begging me for. So Thursday morning, right before you guys leave for vacation, give me a buzz and we'll be able to crack the seal on this thing.
Wait, you're announcing an announcement?
Yeah. It's the old radio bit. Come on now.
We don't need to
It's a tease?
We don't need to work on time spent listening, you silly goose.
You
This is
called with a
satellite radio.
tease?
On satellite radio,
called to
you
tease
just tell the info. You don't tease
Well,
it all morning.
I did it so I can play on the thread some more. I wanted to get some more speculation on the thread.
He really is a pest.
I'm being fired.
God only hopes.
No.
Wait a minute. It's something people are psyched about. It's what we've asked for. Yeah.
Remember when I was in the studio and I wrote it down on a piece of paper?
Yep, I remember what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And
why can't it be announced right now? What's standing in the way?
We got one little, attorney thing hurdle to clear.
Oh, lawyers are so entertaining.
Yes, they are.
Speaking of lawyers, I can't do it. My brother's here.
Oh, you're stealing his bit.
I said that I was stealing my brother's bit, but now my brother's
Yeah, but then
here.
you're accusing Jimmy of stealing your bit.
That's why I stole his bit.
No, Jimmy's stealing my
Speaking
bit
of stealing bit.
that I stole from my brother.
No, I stole your brother's bit. I just bridged it with you.
All right.
It was his bit.
Maybe my brother will do the Samantha bit today for everybody.
So when on Thursday we can break this.
Thursday, you can call me. We can break it.
What's it rhyme with?
Hair.
Yeah.
No, that does not.
Oh, okay.
It rhymes
making
with
a hair joke.
Settle.
Would you shut up?
Wait, wait. Metal.
No.
No.
Metal.
That would be too obvious. Shut up, Jimmy.
Wait.
Elo's gonna go. I gotta go now.
Kettle. Kettle.
Kettle.
There you
Kettle
go.
One.
All
That's what I
right.
was drinking last night.
Yep. There you go. Liquid kettle.
Liquid Kettle One. That's what I was drinking.
Hansel and Gretel, we're going to eat children.
You came here under the pretext.
Are you
of the gingerbread house?
Of the gingerbread house. Let me read your transcript. I want to eat children.
Are you going to have more announcements tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
For you guys?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Talk about the thing to people.
I got to go work on the thing. I got to go upstairs.
Talk about the thing to people. Make it work. Instead of finding ways to make something not work, Elo, make it work. See the bucket that says things that work?
I am all about
Let's fill that bucket up.
I am the can-do guy.
I know you are. You've
By the
proven
way,
yourself
listen,
as
let me tell you
that.
something right now. You're going to have more goddamn lights in your studio. You know what to do with when you get back from vacation, by the way.
Yes, we're going to be blinded by the light.
No, I mean, you'll be able to see the lights from the moon.
That's great.
But if it's lighted.
Hey, is it true we're also doing our first project with Steve Kingston?
Yes, you are.
A guy we hated for many years.
The arch enemy.
We're doing our first project with Steve Kingston.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Something
I
he
read
should
the
have
email.
helped us out with 5-6 years ago.
Why should he have?
Elo,
He was the scumbag.
What's the first project with Steve Kingston? Can we announce this?
Do
we have details in front of us?
I don't have the details in front of me. I know the term I heard yesterday in my meeting was 99.9% done. So, but it has to do with a up and coming concert.
There were other things that were 99.9% done.
Yeah, no
It's
kidding.
called The Thing.
Yeah, the thing
Well, I
was
gotta work on the thing,
99.9% done. What is
Gotta work on
Kingston
the
checking
thing.
with Howard to make sure he doesn't piss off Howard too much?
Okay.
Is that the last
No,
0.1% we're waiting for?
No, I do think it's done.
Okay.
I do think it's done.
I have a question. You might know this. There was somebody else at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction from XM in the press room. Is there any way we can find out who that was?
The one at the
Recently,
Waldorf?
yes.
Male or female?
Male. And he had a woman with him, actually. I think there was one or two.
Was it somebody from? Was it who? I mean, what did they look like?
Tall, pretty tall guy. I mean, good,
Handsome,
good
Jimmy?
chin. Yeah, he was a good-looking guy.
Strapping?
Yeah, good-looking.
Nice hog.
I wouldn't know.
Not
But
for lack of trying.
There was somebody else there and a woman he was with, and they said they have audio from that whole thing.
Well, I didn't set anybody up because we have I'm controlling expenses, as you know.
Well, I want to thank Elo for what I don't know.
For announcing the impending announcement.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And for promising to talk to the people
Well,
that
let me
need to
ask
be
you a
talked
question.
about the thing.
Anthony, you're going to be on a boat next week, right?
Yes, but I have a satellite phone.
He does, too.
I have a sat phone that I am available
Well, I need a
all the
number.
time. I will check in with you because I would have to leave the sat phone on and on my patio, on my deck. So I will be checking in with Elo on my
Something tells me
satellite
we're
phone.
going to be reading about Anthony's vacation on Greta Van Susteren or something.
Hey, that's funny.
I will be in Aruba, I do believe.
Yeah, it's going to be 7 weeks about somebody who's missing off a boat.
Why
Same
doesn't
person.
everyone have satellite phones? Do you know if there's an emergency and all cell phone goes down, I will be able to call someone as long as they have a satellite phone?
And what are they
Anthony,
going to do?
I've got 3 of them orbiting the planet right now. I'm good.
I know. Rock, roll, and what's the other one called?
Rhythm.
And
we got Blues getting ready to go up. So
What about Opie and Anthony?
Well, we know
Weren't we
like 5 or 6
promised the
Remember-
satellites were going to be called Opie and Anthony?
Yeah, remember they promised us that they were actually going to rename the satellite Sophie and Anthony. They promised us that with the national TV spot.
Isn't that almost literally promising us the moon?
They were gonna
It's a satellite
99.9%
orbiting the Earth.
And just to feed our egos, they were going to have pictures of us on the satellite. Remember all
They
that?
were going to fly us up to the satellites to hit the on button on the shuttle. I remember.
Actually, they wanted us to launch the shuttles to.
They wanted us to hit the actual launch button.
Yeah, whatever it would be.
Would
Yes.
have been a disaster.
Remember all that hogwash before Elo joined XM?
Hogwash? Opie, could you use a term from at least
Hogwash.
the 1900s?
Yeah, remember that bullshit? Oof.
That's okay, Elo. Make the thing work.
listen, I'm hanging up so I can work on it. And Opie, you're going to be in the Caribbean, right?
Yeah, but he's got smoke signals. Opie will be signaling you.
I got to know if I'm working on this thing, and then how do I find you guys?
I'll be in New York. I can take care of everything. I have all negotiation power. You just talk to me.
Power of attorney.
Yeah,
I now give it over to Jimmy Norton.
I'll take care of things.
My house will be gone.
I'll work it
Everything
out.
will be sold.
All right, I'm going to go work on this thing and go release more coyotes in Central Park.
Thank you, Elo.
All right, I'm
There
going
you
back
go.
to Whackbag. Goodbye.
Do you think that?
He wasn't falling for it.
I loved how the slam is hard.
He
though.
really slams it down now to
love
show, I've hung up and you did not fool me.
You didn't get
But
me.
there was a hesitation, though. It doesn't take 8 seconds to get the phone to you.
No.
In the cradle. He stopped and he went, hung up.
Is it really?
All right, here we go. So here's the coyote story. We need all news reports about the coyote, please.
A coyote on the loose in Central Park. We sent our coyote, our lone dog, out there. You know, Phoenix is called. Look at him. You already howl at the moon. You don't sleep anyway.
Are you listening to me when I'm checking in?
Uh-huh.
You are. So I got to watch
am.
what I say before.
What the fuck is
Banter.
this? What is that awful banter?
And why was he laughing?
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
sleep anyway. Ha ha.
Why are you howling at the moon?
What's funny about that ever?
Nothing, Jimmy. Nothing.
They're just having so much fun with this coyote today.
Assholes.
It's a feel-good story in a weird way.
All right, so I got to watch what I say beforehand.
Yeah, right.
Good morning, guys, and good morning, everyone. This is all off-air stuff that no one understands right now. Just suffice to say, I am now thoroughly embarrassed. Okay, well, here's the deal. We're on the Upper East Side Central Park here, and Parks Commissioner Mark Benepe yesterday was with some park officials. He happened to spot this coyote. And so he knows what these things look like, and he says it definitely was a coyote. It's about the size of a German Shepherd, and by the way, you can pronounce it either coyote or coyote. Either one is correct. And they call it Hal because it was first spotted by the Hallett Nature Sanctuary about 2:30 yesterday afternoon. That's by the pond on East 59th Street. Now, they are concerned, Adrian Benepe is the Parks Commissioner, because these coyotes, first of all, do attack dogs and small animals that already, it's believed, has been eating some ducks in the park. And also, they're not sure if this thing is rabid or not, so they want to make sure that people are safe. They believe it came down from Westchester County, literally coming right through the Bronx and over a bridge into Manhattan, and then it ended up here in Central Park,
it took the
probably
bridge.
because it
Possible.
can mix in among
come
the
from
wildlife
Westchester.
here, not to be seen. Not that it gave it much thought, but it's more of the natural habitat that it's used to. But this is, it's, again, a pretty good concern. Yesterday, both parks officials and police scoured the area looking for the coyote, trying to tranquilize it if they find it. That's it from here. We're live on the Upper East Side at Central Park. Ken Rosato, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
So his name's Hal.
Hal, that's a nickname they've given him, yes.
Okay. So if you see a coyote named Hal.
Way to reiterate.
Yeah, that helped the story.
Because it's gonna.
Hal.
It'll come running when you call its name.
He thought a funny thought was going to show up, and
it
nothing
just
happened. His name is Hal.
No one
Blank.
at the door.
Blank. Douche. Is that Steve Bartlestein?
Yeah,
I
good
think
old
it was
Steve.
Steve
I love him.
Bartlestein.
Why don't you shine a little red fucking flasher into his eyes? Some crystal meth, you douche.
Hey, you want to get Josh Elliott in here? We'll do news teases.
Certainly.
Can we have some? Can I have another cup of water, please?
Because there's no bottled
Holy
water.
fucking shit!
What's wrong there,
That's just
Jimmy?
a cup of water.
Yeah.
Love that.
What's going on?
I don't know. They're showing a cruise missile launch, and it's just fantastic.
I
I don't mind paying taxes so much when they show things like cruise missiles.
Uh-oh, he's walking around and shake people's hands.
Sir, how you doing?
Josh Elliott, everyone, from ESPN, right?
Yeah, ESPN Classic.
Classic. I watched the ESPN Classic.
Thank you, man.
It's pretty cool.
That's a great
I
idea.
watched some of the old Wide World of Sports on that.
The thing, what's amazing, they bought that
Microphone.
thing from
Yeah,
Classic.
when did you start broadcasting? Come on.
Microphone, sir.
We got microphones.
That's right. This thing never stops, does it?
Yeah.
Jump in.
I know.
Jump on, jump off.
Jump in.
It's satellite radio.
It is. It's like an old freight train to hobos.
It never stops circling the earth.
No.
I can't tell you how many guests actually asked us, are we on the air? I don't know if that's good or bad.
Sorry, this is all you get.
Yeah,
that
this
continued?
Right, dopey show.
This is all you get. I'm sorry to
But
disappoint you.
I watch Wide World of Sports on there, and it's cool. It's like a nostalgia thing. It's almost like hearing an old song on the radio or something. You
See,
kind
that's
of
the thing.
watch
You know,
this.
we just want people stopping for a while. You know what I mean? I mean, they talked a lot about when I got there about time spent viewing, and it's not just like it's not just staying there watching a whole game. Because let's face it, the thing with the classic sports is that they'll throw on a great game, but more often than not, those great games in the middle of the second quarter, they weren't so great. It's like fourth quarter, so it's like
It's all about the highlights.
It is, and it's all about that whole feeling of nostalgia. It's
I like the
I
equipment that they're
remember this one.
using, things like the limited camera angles,
yeah, it's phenomenal.
things like that, and then just the it's kind of a
don't forget about
comment on the time. What they had, this one thing I watched, it was on Wide World of Sports. It was a frisbee dog competition where people threw a frisbee and the dog caught it. Dude, in front of a packed arena in Los Angeles.
Yeah, going crazy,
like
by the way.
20,000 fans packing an arena for frisbee dog competition. Would that ever get pulled off today?
See, probably not. But see, remember, that's back in the day. Dinosaurs were roaming the earth, and you had like 5
Way
channels.
back when.
You literally, it's like people sat there and you clicked around.
you had
your
no
box.
choice.
Absolutely no choice.
They
So we
force-fed this shit to you.
Smack your
we
little
take
sister
advantage
in the
of
head,
that.
made her change the
Remember
channel?
when you had no choice? Remember that? Remember the totalitarian regime of television?
Yeah.
Let's go back.
Yeah, then we went from 5 channels to 12, and we all realized we don't want to see a dog catching a frisbee anymore.
It was like that Evel Knievel's jumps
Oh, that was
on
the
the
best
Wide World
stuff.
of Sports.
It's unbelievable.
They would have
It's
the
unbelievable.
interviews with him, and just amazing. It's kind of a time capsule.
Well, what's good too is that for sports, it does help that you kind of can't be a sports fan unless you know something about the teams that you're fans of. Like you're it's like one of those sneaking in history. When you weren't, when you had no idea. It's like math. It's like I know when I was a kid, I learned how to do math reading box scores. It suddenly occurred to me when I was in math class. I'm like, oh, wait a second, this is division.
It's like
right.
a box score.
We
It's like
learned math by selling drugs, sir.
So this coyote, can we talk about this coyote for a second?
Oh,
What do
very
you think? What do you
important story
think?
here.
Jimmy
in New
had
York.
an incident last night, by the way. You saw the coyote.
With the animal. I was actually on the Upper East Side, and I did actually encounter the animal. I was sitting there on a bench.
From inside? No, you weren't. You were
I was.
inside your car.
And it came up and attacked me, and I
It
fought it.
did not.
Didn't it look like a big wolf?
It was like a really scary thing, and there were kids that playing, and he was trying to bite and hurt them.
No, it wasn't.
And so I
It was a lying
attacked
sack of shit.
and hurt the animal.
You were
and
in
then I
your
hurt the
caddy.
children. Huh?
You were in your caddy
Yes, I was.
driving,
Yes.
completely safe.
That's right.
You could have run him over and
I actually
ended
rolled
the
my
whole
window
thing.
down, and I beeped at the coyote, and I yelled, "Faggot dog," and I rolled the window off and drove away quickly.
Thought it was one of the many hookers you frequent.
How was a coyote getting in? That's what I want to know.
They just said it
They
took
just
the bridge.
explained it.
It's
which I don't believe.
the
by the
bridge to the tunnel to the 4 train. You
coyote-
got to transfer at Grand Central.
He got a ticket for being in the HOV lane by himself.
Seriously, it's unbelievable.
Right now the coyote's
Does the
getting
coyote
a letter.
pay a toll? Like what's
It
going
came
on?
from
Yeah,
Westchester.
getting a letter from Easy Pass right now saying he didn't pay.
It came from
Big
Westchester.
photograph of his ass.
Yeah,
So is that
the
what-
pink anus and the tail?
Is that what happens if you get stuck in the Easy Pass line? I've always wondered about that. What happens if you get stuck in the Easy
They
Pass
snap
line
a
and you're-
picture,
Yep.
and they send you a letter that says you have to pay the toll, and if you don't actually have Easy Pass, you have to pay a $25 filing fee.
Ugh. See?
Yeah.
There you go. See?
$25. I know one guy I knew just would drive through the Easy Pass all the time. No line, no Easy Pass, just go right through. Then they started sending letters to people.
Yeah.
I just say get Easy Pass.
Yeah, so much easier. People are like, I don't want the government tracking me. All right, douchebag, that's what they're doing. They're following you through the Lincoln.
Could you
Eventually
imagine
they will
how
be.
different history would be if Sonny Corleone would have just had the little thing
The
stuck
Easy
to
Pass,
his
see?
windshield on the causeway? Ding, ding, right through. The mobsters would have been there going,
holding their guns like, what the hell was that?
What the fuck is Easy Pass? Holding their Tommy guns. And Sonny would have made it home.
And Michael, probably would have been like a high school teacher.
Would not have to get involved with the whole thing.
But it would have spared us Godfather 3. So, there's a lot. There's a lot that might not happen.
Hey, we should do news teasers with Josh, and then we'll talk like classic sports and what you're up to. How's that sound?
Good.
You can do the hang.
Good.
Yeah, we were talking about news teasers earlier when Harry was in here. It's just the panicky, scare everybody. Nothing about informing people news anymore. It's just about what can they do during your favorite show in 3 seconds that'll scare you enough where there's this impending danger or doom on you or your children or your cars or your family that you have to tune in to find out.
Well, luckily, there seems to be a foodstuff every week now that if you eat too much of, it will kill you.
Yeah, too much.
Or there's a
too little.
foodstuff that if you eat enough of, will save you. And so, if you want to stick around to find out what broccoli might do for your...
Yeah, but then a couple of years go by, and the food you think that's going to save you now doesn't save you anymore.
How many times have
really bothers
eggs
me.
swung back and forth? Eggs are awful for you. Don't eat them.
Seriously.
Eggs, a miracle food.
Red wine, tomato sauce,
Chocolate.
for a while.
I guess the yolk was on us the whole time because eggs are actually good for you.
Well, can we just figure that out once and for all? Should I be eating this egg or should I not? A man walked on the moon like 80 years ago.
Right.
Can I eat the egg? I mean, what's tough about
It's
that?
easy. Figure it out.
So
Tell
we'll
us once, move on.
So we'll do some news teasers here. Some of these we have to guess what they're talking about, right?
Ooh.
Hey, where's Danny?
It's a game.
Danny helps us out with this. Danny, are we guessing today?
Danny.
We try to guess what they're talking about in these news teasers. Some are just hilarious.
Oh,
Danny, we
what
playing?
mic does Danny
Dan, where are you
use?
going?
That one's
No,
broken.
that's because
That one's busted.
it's no good, Dan.
Busted.
I know the answer to, I think, most of these.
I hope so, because usually
Most
we
of
hear
these.
the tease and then we don't know what the real story
Yeah,
is.
unfortunately, again, some of these were ones that we didn't get to last time around, so they may have been listener sent.
Right.
Well, how many are there? How many are there?
9.
Jesus. All right, here we go.
All gun shy.
So help us out with this, Josh.
All right,
Right?
let's
Josh
go.
Elliott from ESPN Classic. Do you have a catchphrase, by the way?
Yes, I do.
What's yours?
At the end of the show.
Oh no, you really do?
Yes. This day is history.
Oh, so that's all right.
See?
This day is history.
That's all right, though.
Because it was...
I have a tough time watching ESPN because I don't know.
Oh,
man.
well, okay. I can't...
No
yeah,
offense,
I
man.
see what
I
you're
have a
saying.
really tough time watching ESPN news.
No, no,
I love
that's
the
my
hockey
sign.
and all that shit.
Exactly.
But when they start describing three-pointers as trays and this and that and boom goes the dynamite and whatever.
Well, what's boom goes to dynamite?
Well, that was actually a college kid.
That was the single
college
greatest
kid.
internet clip of all.
Yeah,
That's why the
very good.
internet's the greatest thing in the world.
Very good clip.
You've got to see this.
Do we have boom goes the dynamite?
Ron
we
Ron
gotta
Fez
have.
play it all the time.
It's
And,
like
it's-
a Kent State. It was a college kid doing, one of those AV club broadcasts, and just gets lost. But he's clearly his only crutch are all his stupid catchphrases.
His
like,
catchphrases.
"Boom goes the dynamite."
Yeah, he thought he was like
unbelievable.
the new Warner
He
Wolf.
he watched ESPN way too much, and he figures he needs one of these little catchphrases. So he came up with "Boom goes the dynamite."
So they'd one of the guy would shoot, would go in the basket, and you go, and boom goes the dynamite. And it's the worst delivery of the worst line ever.
And you can actually hear him, soiling himself.
Oh yeah, just shitting and
I
pissing
believe
himself.
you can audibly hear it slipping out.
He is so nervous and so bad.
That's acceptable from a college guy, and I'm a Yankee fan, and I love John Sterling, but I can't listen to him anymore because he's so married to his stupid... He actually said, when Bernie Williams hits a home run, that motherfucker says, "Bernie goes boom!" Does he? Is that what Bernie does? Stupid.
I grew up in L.A. Let me ask you this. I grew up in L.A. I had Vin Scully. I had Chick Hearn. I had great announcers. What is the deal with New York City and the lack of the
Sterling
announcer that you care
stinks.
about?
John Sterling is a good, when he's doing just regular discussions of things, he's actually a very interesting color guy, play-by-play guy, but when he gets into his catchphrases, he goes from really, really good and really enjoyable to listen to to horrendous.
Hey, we had Ralph Kiner. Remember Kiner's Corner? That one, a towering high fly ball deep into center field. Now this word from Budweiser, the king of beer.
Why do the baseball announcers have to put that inflection?
That whole
It's like bad radio voice.
But you know
back.
why? Because you feel like you're back. You're sitting in your folding chair, and one of the things has popped out, and you're drinking your Schlitz. It
Is
puts
that
you
it?
right back
With the remote that goes.
Yes.
Made that metallic ringing sound.
Got a wire on
Grandpa,
it. for the TV.
get Grandpa another beer.
But the thing with Sterling too is that, and here's the problem with the catchphrases: is you get caught between your catchphrase and what's actually happening.
Yes.
Like he goes into his home run call, and all of a sudden it's a bleeder pop out to like shallow center field, and he relies on the fact that he's on the radio. But that wasn't he didn't give that around.
Yeah.
When there's 2 home runs in a row,
We got one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
this one, it gives me a pain in my ball bag. He'll go, a back to back and a belly to belly. What?
All right, I do have that.
What?
All right, hold on. We got the actual.
Bam Tino!
Stinks.
Bill Risley warms in the bullpen. Mattingly swings and he hits a drive to deep right center. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Back to back. In a belly to belly. And Mattingly homers in the right center field area. And the Yankees take a 3-2 lead.
The Giambino.
That one physically makes me want to. When he does high, far gone like that, I like it because it's not the voice is okay. But when he goes, "That is high," right.
You are urinating on a great moment, John Sterling. Put it back in your pants.
And Ed Coleman is fucking overrated for the Mets.
How about this every time?
Rivera at the belt. And the 0-2. Struck him out swinging. Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
I would never come back. I would never come back.
It's
after
almost
that.
okay if it's a walk-off homer, but he usually does that call when it's like 17-2.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, the excitement of,
What's
high
the-
score, extra innings.
Right. I mean, walk-off homer, I can understand a little excitement there.
Where's the surprise? The Yankees didn't die and forfeit. Stupid.
It's a 17-2 win.
He does that
There's
the first-
100 people left in the stands.
Yeah.
The parking lot is empty. And
But
he's
it's like a
screaming.
really bad suit. It's like he did that once, and he had to push himself away from the chair and think, "Oh, that was good.
That's good.
Oh, that's it.
That's
I've got
good.
it now, boy.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm going with that.
I'm running with this one.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have an epileptic seizure after every win. That'll be good.
But I love his play-by-play call. Like I love his play-by. A lot of guys don't like him, but I think he's a great play-by-play guy.
he's
Coleman's
got-
overrated.
He's got to get rid of
It's
it.
out of here! That douche. Shut your face.
Got to get rid of the catchphrase.
It's out of here!
Opie, I promise, no catchphrases there. You
Yeah,
come
'cause-
to come to classic now.
You're going to
no
move over to
catchphrases.
ESPN News, I'm assuming.
I
bet you're going to go there.
Far be it from me
You got a
to
personality
chart
on
my
you,
own
right?
course.
Right.
But see, that's the thing. Here's the thing. They're sort of getting away. It's the anti-personality now. Now it's like
Right.
no more personality.
Yeah,
now
they
it's
do
like,
ESPN News and they're talking basketball highlights, but they're using like baseball phrases.
Yeah, I mean, you
and
wouldn't.
things
That's
like
the
that.
thing. It's almost
I
like
get,
you wouldn't know the sport unless you were watching it.
yeah,
Like,
there's a guy
there's so much
scoring
stuff.
3-pointers and they're calling them touchdowns because it's cool or something. Yeah, they do that all the time too. That drives me
That's
nuts.
what I never liked about basketball, that's not even a new thing, calling it a field goal. Stop it. Don't call it a
Yeah,
field
you can't.
goal.
I'm with you there.
It's taken. That term is taken.
Or at least if you're going to use taken terms, at least make it interesting. Like every time a guy shoots and misses, go, "Oh, he drops a miscarriage."
At least it would be original. A miscarriagino.
A back-to-back and flat belly to flat belly.
All right.
Okay.
Why?
Here we go.
Please explain why. I just want to know why.
Let me ask you, Jim.
The parents cry. The parents cry.
Why, Jimmy? Just one day explain why. That's all I ask.
What's it like?
That's
What's
all
it
I
like
ask.
being the guy that can do that? I like being the guy that can say the thing that we
The
all
awful
want to say.
things.
That's you're the freest man in America.
You just can't, some people won't like it, some people will like
God,
it. But
Jesus,
You
Jim,
just have to
that's-
hope.
See, that's
and
it.
Pray
right
there's
there.
no karma
God
either.
love you.
Nah, there can't be karma because
Yeah.
my behavior is good. I just say awful things. I'm a
And
good
God
boy.
love the saddle. I mean, seriously, you're like indebted to NASA. I mean, if
Yeah.
we're not launching stuff into
Love
the
it.
air, you're not the free man that you are.
I love it, man. I love
Yeah.
being here. Really
We
do.
absolutely love doing
this is
this.
this is why the satellite talk is the way to go with satellite because you can say whatever you want. I mean, it's great.
Do you know if it wasn't for the Nazis, we probably wouldn't be broadcasting?
Why is that?
Well, the Nazi scientists that were designing the rockets, Put the satellites in
We
orbit.
still
that
got
make
us interested in the
broadcast.
space
So
program?
in a weird offhanded way, and I know this might offend a couple of people, I just want to thank the Nazis for coming up with the rockets.
Wow.
That
There you go.
put this.
Man. That's right.
All right. What? What did I say?
Nothing. We're becoming friends with Josh.
Did I
As
say
my handlers now yank me forcibly.
That's
from
what's
the
going to
studio.
happen.
Look, I think they had a few really bad ideas.
Thanks for having me.
I'm not saying they didn't do some awful, horrific things.
Josh jokes, but I can't tell you how many people have been yanked off the
But
air.
rocketry,
in the middle of an interview.
you know.
All right, why don't we get into news teasers? Why don't we do something
All
a
right.
little safer here?
Let's do that.
Then we'll talk classic sports with Josh Elliott. All right? So the news teasers that are there to scare us and make us watch the news all the way to the end. Here we go. Here's the first one.
Well, there's more than 250,000 cars that are right now on a recall list, the thing that could make driving them so dangerous.
What?
I know what that's about.
What is it?
Asians.
No, it's not. Jesus.
Danny? Hello. No.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Why would a microphone work in here?
Let me.
Give
two
me
words.
all the answers. I'll impress
rock.
Eric, bring that one over there.
I'm gonna say that last one that you shouldn't have, but you just have to have, and it's gonna be all right because you'll take back streets, and they probably won't get you in the dragnet there on the main avenue, and yeah.
What's the? Let me hear it again.
All right, but it's basically saying they're recalling 250,000 cars. Is yours one?
Oh, what's
Can't
the
they at least
recall for?
Give us the company.
Just the company.
Just the company. Let's narrow it down a little bit.
Well, there's more than 250,000 cars that are right now on a recall list, the thing that could make driving them so dangerous.
Okay, well, it's got to be an American car company, right? We're not exactly hitting it out of the park.
Yeah.
You know.
Probably. I will say it is Ford.
Yep.
And it is a problem with the cruise control that causes a fire when the car is shut off.
Nope.
No?
Nope. There was a weird function, and I think it was the Taurus, that every time you started it, it exploded.
I think it's the Saturn.
Yeah.
And it didn't have enough interior lighting to tell if you were with a male hooker or a female hooker.
And even if it did, you didn't want the lighting.
Who cares? Jimmy laughs because it's true.
Of course
See,
he does.
now I'm screwed because that was my just in case I got in trouble with Jim. I was going to go to the transvestite hooker. I was given that. It's like,
believe me,
here's your one weapon. It's like bringing a knife to a gun.
No new material. For
No transvestites. That'll be clear. Transsexuals only, because they're girls.
All right,
Danny.
It is Chrysler,
and
they were calling over 250,000 cars over wiper defects.
You gotta be kidding me.
What the?
Wait, did she say danger? Was
Yeah,
there?
she said
Well,
danger.
the danger is if it rains and you got no wipers. You
Well,
could.
what could be the problem with the wipers?
Without wipers?
But what do they suddenly stop on you? Because that's sort of you're going to find that out about 2 seconds into that
Yeah.
drive. You're still going to be in reverse when your wipers aren't working.
You're not
right?
doing 60 and all of a sudden, it's rain where you can't see. It drizzles and you hit the thing and you go, oh, this isn't working.
Oh, no.
Pull over.
Oh, no.
You're not just driving and all of a sudden, rain!
It's not. It's more of an inconvenience than a real danger.
Oh, my God. This is lovely out, hon. I can't wait to get there and open the basket and eat the rain!
Oh my God, the wiper didn't move. I
Hey, we
steered into a coyote.
We got Josh's boss on the line from ESPN. Josh's boss, yes.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen. Josh, it's time to come home.
Yeah. I got to go, right? I got to go. Was it?
Yeah,
What?
They're telling us you got to go.
Oh.
Let's say hi to Russell in Cincinnati. Russell.
Yeah, well, hey, this is, I was wanting to let Norton know that if you put 2 in the Bay in San Francisco, you call that a Scott from Modesto?
That's the Bonds home run call.
Yep.
That's very funny. All right, very good. There was something there. All right, let's move on to the next news tease here.
2005 was a record-setting year. How bad will the hurricanes be? What experts say about a major storm hitting our area.
It's freezing cold out. The temperatures of the water
Give us
are
a break.
freezing cold.
Still scare us with the snow or something.
Don't worry about because
You can
it's
save
not
this
going to be
one.
a blizzard. So they got to start scaring us in advance about a hurricane. I heard this. It's some scientist saying that, some weather guy saying that we're due. The Northeast is due. Do you realize that we are not? They're building out in the Hamptons, and they're not taking the warnings of 1938. That's what he said.
1938.
Yeah, big hurricane in 1938.
See that, and that's the thing. We're
Didn't
due.
consumption
We're-
get people in 1938 too?
What
I don't
does
think we
due
got to
mean,
worry about
you know?
consumption. Yeah, we're due.
Natural disasters. Here's the thing. We don't know. We
have
just
no
don't
clue.
know. I like that, though. This is what I like about the natural disaster. Every region of America has their own natural disaster. I'm
Yeah.
a California guy. The
Earthquake.
earthquake. And it's like, they happen, Don't, you kind of hope. You can hope for the best. When the concrete's rippling like waves, it's kind of out of your hands.
Yeah.
Hurricanes rolling in. If you can leave, you hope you can leave. If you can, shelter, caves, something, underpasses.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's just gonna happen.
You know what? Because he said we're due. If that worked, I'd be rich at blackjack. Because I always make those bets when I go, I'm due. I'm due. I'm so due. I've been losing. I've lost like 5 hands in a row. I'm due.
And
Here comes the big bet. No, I'm not due.
You get the feel you've been playing blackjack forever. You're up like, $200-300. Like, this is obvious the hand. I got to
I'm
go
due.
all in.
I'm due for a 12.
Great.
And what are we supposed to do? What do
card.
they want
Thank
us
you
to
very
do?
much.
What do they want us to do? What are you going to do to protect yourself?
Tear
from
down
anything
your
from
beach
a
house
hurricane?
in the Hamptons.
Exactly.
Tear
Sell.
it down
Sell
in advance.
now.
You ever build a sandcastle when you're a kid, and when you're done and you're leaving, you kick it over so no one else could destroy it?
Right.
That's what you have to do to your houses now, people. Rip them to pieces and go nyan, 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 nyan when the hurricane
This
comes.
natural disaster stuff used to scare us, but after 9/11, living through that, you're like, yeah, hurricane. Well, if it happens, it happens.
You know what? You know what else we're due for? An asteroid to slam into the planet. That happens
There you
every
go.
40 million years or so. So
Occasionally they scare us with that one, too.
Yeah.
This one close, only 68 bazillion miles.
Right.
It's a real close call. And, since space is never ending, it's close.
Right.
Because if it ended somewhere, it's probably far. But since it goes on forever, infinity, it might as well be right next to us. No, it's not.
I'm not even kidding. I saw that one last week.
Did you? Last week?
Yeah, of course.
which one was that, doll?
Hey,
Asteroids.
speaking of natural disasters, we got to play this for Josh Elliott from ESPN Classic. See how I get the plugs in for you?
Hey.
Isn't that nice?
It's seamless.
There's something crazy going down in Alabama, Mobile. They have their own disaster going on. I just can't get enough of this clip. We got to play it again because I'm sure there's a new audience since we played it earlier. Listen to this.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community. Many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun say yeah?
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the
I'd love
leprechaun
to see
looks
the
like.
sketch.
Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff. And it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
We're going to get down to the bottom of this. Yeah, still on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This guy, helping to direct traffic, says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off spells right here. This is the special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm gonna run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where the gold at. I want the gold. Give me the gold. I want the gold.
Yes, like we said earlier, this is happening in America.
Oh, my. The natural disaster there is the local news and the public school system.
Yep.
And someone pointed out that, yes, these people are allowed to vote, too.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That just kept getting, that's the gift that kept on giving.
I think it's a crackhead.
It gets
And
funny.
they told him to climb a tree and be a leprechaun.
It gets funnier every time you
The
hear it.
backhoe, that poor
Yeah,
tree.
you're
That
gonna get a
tree's just like,
backhoe.
Come on, move along. There is nothing to see here.
Here's the video.
Oh, is that video?
Here's the video. Oh,
Let's
my God.
see the video. Wow.
Yeah, well, we're just kind of looking at video on the
Shining
radio.
a
I understand.
light.
They're shining
I
light.
see a light. Oh, there's the sketch. Holy shit, stop it.
Sketch. Is this, like you said earlier, is this a Dave Chappelle bit?
That's a joke.
That they never ran
Yeah.
on Comedy Central? Because
That is the amateur drawing.
They can't be showing the amateur sketch on an actual news program.
Please put that up on the website.
That looks
That's what the leprechaun looks like.
They drew an acorn with eyes.
That is absolutely an acorn. Draw it at home. Draw an acorn and put two eyes right under what would be the head of a penis if an acorn was a penis.
There you go. There's the amateur sketch. Oh, is this on opieandanthony.com? It should be up there immediately if you want more hits, Steve, because this is too good.
This
The video's
amateur
even better.
sketch. Who would confuse that with Rockwell?
Well, and what about that says leprechaun? Why are they going with leprechaun?
Nothing.
Because it could be a pimp. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's a pimp.
He's got the pimp hat.
It's got the pimp hat. I don't know.
Awful.
I want the gold.
I want to go. I'm going to get a backhoe.
Can we see what those people look like? I want the gold, please.
Okay, we got to move on here.
Suspecting they're
Those
not
news
Italians.
teases. And then we found Boom Goes the Dynamite, and then we're gonna talk about ESPN Classic with Josh Elliott.
It's good stuff.
You know we're never going to talk about ESPN
No, I
Classic.
know, but
Okay.
you said it a lot, though.
We did a little at the beginning.
We're getting our money's worth, right? Yeah.
I like the fights. I like the classic fights.
Let me tell you, the fights kill.
A lot of
The fights
highly
kill.
rated. Yeah.
Well, they don't fight like they used to.
At all.
The fights used to be
and you know what, they
bloodier
never
and more
will.
exciting.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you want fighting and the boxing and that you come to the class.
Holy Leon Spinks.
Yeah, the guy from Mobile, Alabama looks like Leon Spinks early in his career.
That's wonderful. Is that the guy with the backhoe?
Is that the backhoe guy?
I don't know. I don't know where the audio matches up to the video.
Well, hey, do you show any of those old LaMotta fights?
Uh-huh.
Where he would just completely beat up Vicky?
And that's there's
No?
It's after hours.
He doesn't need the
Late
answer,
night.
Josh. He was just setting you up.
Just being a goose.
There you go. All right, here we go.
I love that shit.
More news teases. Here's the next one.
A man was kidnapped outside his synagogue.
Placed him in the trunk and secured him in the trunk of the car.
How he survived and the one thing he had in his pocket that may have saved his life.
Ooh.
All right, the obvious joke. What? A penny.
But how would that save his life? He's taking out of his synagogue. Oh, I got it.
Well, see, now, the reason I pulled that one, even though it's not fear-mongering, is just that I actually pulled the story simply because, well, you'll see.
All right, here's the actual
I think
story.
I know what he had in his pocket, by the way.
That's good work, right
It is. Well, you'll see after this. He's
Well,
doing
you know what?
a
No,
fucking
I'm
tease.
an idiot because I was about to just
tease
blow
the
this.
tease. That's very meta.
He had the new thing. That it's a new device that you push and it blows the trunks off of cars so you can get out of them.
No, that isn't it, Jimmy.
All right.
All right, here we go.
A man from Long Island was grabbed and beaten after leaving a synagogue. The thugs then stuffed him in the trunk of his own car. Fox 5's Mike Sheehan has more on the terrifying ordeal from North Woodmere.
It was 6 o'clock in the morning when the 78-year-old victim was leaving Temple.
78.
Seconds later, he was pounced on by two thugs.
These two male blacks, the only descriptions we have so far are that they were wearing hoods. And the only thing that really could be revealed were their eyes and the areas around their eyes. They confronted him. They asked for cash, which he claimed not to have any. At that point, they threatened him a little bit further and asked if he had any ATM cards.
Detectives say the frightened man was forced into the back seat of his own car, then driven by the two thugs to a deserted area.
There came a portion of time where they took him out of the car and placed him in the trunk and secured him in the trunk of the car. At that point, this gentleman was in the back trunk of his car, and you could hear different things happening. The car would occasionally stop. Doors would open, doors would close.
The victim spent about an hour in the cramped trunk before trying to escape.
He was able, or had a device with him, which enabled him to open the trunk of the car.
Although shaken, the elderly victim
An
wasn't
hour?
hurt. He drove home and called the police. People who live nearby are shocked.
Not good. A little scary and very close to home.
I know the area is changing, but I didn't think it was that bad. That's serious.
I was just shocked. Something like that should not happen in this community.
As the hunt for these two attackers continues, police are urging everyone out here to use a little more caution. Mike Sheehan, Fox 5 News.
I know why Danny pulled the
Frightening.
story, by the way, now.
Why?
Danny, go ahead.
Because the guy waited an hour.
No, you're missing the obvious.
Oh.
Is this not one? There we go. They never tell you what it is.
What object he had in his pocket. That was the whole tease.
It was something that opens his trunk.
An object that opened his trunk.
It said
But
the
what
one
is
thing
it?
that
But
may
what
have
is it?
saved his life. That was the tease.
Yeah.
They didn't tell you what the thing was.
A button or something that opens the trunk.
Was it like a keychain?
Who knows?
But
They
if
don't
they
tell
took
you.
his car and they were driving around, they probably had the keys, but they never tell you what the device
And
was.
by the way, how lame are these guys? 78 years old and you got to throw them in the what is he, Jack
I know.
LaLanne? Like what the
The guy could have been in the back seat.
I think we're good. Just the back seat's good, right?
So, where are we going?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Right.
Slow
They just didn't want to hear him
down.
yapping.
Josh, you can hang, man. We like you.
That's good.
You're perfect
Oh,
for this program.
man.
Hey, we're trying to find ESPN Classic, by the way. Why don't you help us out? Tell us what channel
What do we
it's
got?
on.
Is this Time Warner right here? It's right next to Nickelodeon in Espanol, I believe. It's
Hey, good,
84.
good placement on the dial.
84.
84. Yeah.
Or not.
There's the weather.
You don't even know
TV
where
Guide
it is.
Channel.
That's wonderful.
Oh, wait.
No, that was horse
Wait for
racing.
it?
Yeah.
Wait for it?
Is it even?
Well, is this like digital something or other?
Is it one of those channels that they have to split it with somebody else, and then later tonight it goes to ESPN
Sharing.
Classic?
Like time sharing.
They do that with some of these channels in New York.
I believe we're legit. We're all the time. 24 hours.
You know what
of
channel?
Classic. No,
I
don't.
You said what?
Wow, that's by the way,
84.
that's real.
All right, go
bad.
back to 84. Maybe it's just an infomercial for a little while.
No, that's the TV Guide Channel.
Oh, TV Guide Channel.
Is this
yeah.
Time Warner though?
Yeah, probably.
Yes, it is.
It
definitely.
is, but it's not the digital cable. It's the old analog cable.
Oh, the analog. Yeah, then you don't get it. Don't get it because it only goes up to what, channel 70 or something like that. It's 80.
Well,
or
we
something
had
like
84 on.
No, this is actually our show. This is something we do. You know,
Yeah.
Sort of. You know, it's classic now. So we
I
give
would
you
like-
the now right now, and then we do a little classic. Sports.
Why not classic TV Guide Channel where they show what was on, like Leave It to Beaver will
That's
scroll
right.
by and Gilligan's Island.
The
You could
Thurman
just
Munson story.
Yeah, you could be all excited about that.
All right, well, maybe it'll pop on.
Thurman Munson go.
Do you even
affect you? Was that just devastating?
Yeah.
For you?
Oh yeah, I was a big
bad.
Yankee fan. He was sure was it 79? Yeah, very very. When I was that age, I was so stupid too. I actually wrote the date of his death on his card. I had no value concept. Little fucking melodramatic nerd, just destroying heirlooms.
That'll teach you to care. Jeez.
I actually have a card from JFK's funeral. A death card. You know how they give out cards at funerals?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I have one of those. From
Ace
his
of
funeral.
Spades, two of clubs.
Yes. Yeah, 3 of
Death cards.
Oswalds. Let's people know who did this.
Okay, here we go.
Any woman that could hold a husband's brains in his head can drink out of my canteen.
She wear pink. She drink patty water.
We have the next news tease. It's not scary. It's just plain dopey.
All right.
Here we go.
Booked and humiliated by cops.
That was a nervous record, that thing.
The crime is mustache. How it got him tossed in jail. Tonight on Fox 5 News at 10.
I know.
He got arrested for having a wacky
For his
mustache?
mustache.
Because he probably put on a dress and tried to use the ladies' room.
Yeah, with that mustache.
Nothing?
It-
Thought
it-
that would get a big chuckle.
No.
All right.
It couldn't. It couldn't have been the mustache. I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm thinking he wasn't out. The cop said drop the mustache and then hauled him in. It had to be something else.
Mistaken identity. I'm going to go with mistaken identity.
Yeah, I honestly, I saw the story. It's vague, but
Oh,
I
no,
believe
he doesn't.
You were
I do
drinking
believe it
at
was
the
mistaken
time.
identity.
Your
Just
mom was
say you
hitting
were
on
dr-
you.
you
and
were drunk.
You were distracted.
It's
Trying
either
to have
mistaken
sex with your
identity
mother.
or it's a really bad mustache.
No, I believe it was mistaken identity.
It's probably a bad mustache.
You
too.
really don't know, though, do you? Just be honest.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, we're close to vacation.
Yeah,
So,
we'll
if you know
I'll
what
check
that
on it.
story is about, please give us a call. We need to know. All right, here's the next news.
Wait, that was it?
yeah,
Yes.
we get nothing.
We have
got no
alcoholics
answers.
We have
working for this
nothing.
program.
No answers.
That's like the device. It's like
Sometimes we don't get the answers.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
life.
The tease.
The
That's
next one,
a tease.
The next two and the final two, we get the answers.
This
so.
is like life.
Here we go.
Sometimes you don't
Also,
know.
a common medicine could be turning people into compulsive gamblers, and that's not all how the drug is affecting their
I know
brains.
this.
Yeah.
I know this.
You know this one?
Oh, I was teased. Absolutely.
This
Because I was
is,
wondering. I'm like, was it what I took last night or the night before?
Yeah.
That did it?
Ambien?
It's like isn't it like an Alzheimer medication or something like that?
Nope.
Well, the tease said common medicine.
Common medicine. I would say aspirin.
I already know it.
That's
so
common.
You're out.
No, you
it
don't.
turns you into gamblers. Yes, I absolutely do.
What is it?
Viagra, because it gives you a nice hard-on, and you don't care if you have bags or not. You just stick it in and go, come on, healthy.
All right, Jimmy, now you get the big laugh. That's really
That
funny.
does make sense and fit the bill. Yeah.
Do we need to know?
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parkinson's medication.
That's it. Common.
That's terrific.
Common medication.
But are people with Parkinson's even allowed to gamble? You're fucking a ruckus over there shaking. They don't know whether to hit, stay.
Knocking all the chips all over the place.
Unless you're shooting craps. That's pretty much the only game. Shaking the dice. All right, throw them already,
We
old
can't
man.
hit you again. You have 47. I spilled coffee again.
Let's just move on.
It also shows you, doesn't it, like how much news has changed? Like, can you see Walter Cronkite doing this like 25, 30 years ago?
Man had some dignity.
Like,
Respected.
Stay tuned. What dictator down in the Caribbean might end all of your lives? Next.
Very important. How could Agent Orange affect the people here at home? It can't.
Let's go to Steve in New York. He might know the mustache story. Steve.
Napalm. Can it be dropped on your street? No.
Steve, you know the answer to the mustache story?
Yeah, it was a mistaken identity. Some guy stole 8,000 watches from some store and had the same funky mustache.
Oh.
And he ended up getting locked up, and they arraigned him in a parking lot of a firehouse in upstate, some hick town. Punch it out.
All right, there you go.
Thank you. Very
Wow.
good. Mistaken identity.
Mistaken identity. But what made the mustache funky?
Probably
Other
a
than the fact that it was
it was one of those like 70s porno.
The handle?
mustaches.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Terrible.
Nice.
All right, here's the next news tease.
Yoga group or dangerous cult? The investigation tonight at 11.
Dangerous cult.
Both.
I'm going to say yoga. Oh,
It's just a yoga group. Yoga group or dangerous cult. All right. All right. Danny?
Unfortunately, I'm scared because we'll never know it was a listener submission. And they
Son
never,
of a bitch.
Never told us.
Can you please tell us? I have no answer for this one beforehand.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's not to
'Cause now we
disappoint.
need to know.
Because now I'm all
I'm sorry.
disappointed.
Here's the whole thing with the news teases. There's got to be a little payoff.
Right.
man.
Thank you.
It's
See,
like,
the
coming
payoff.
up next, winner of the big game. And then nothing.
And then no
And
winner.
nothing.
ESPN Classics. You're not going to be playing the 86 World Series and leave out the Buckner play.
Exactly.
You're
Just
not
and
gonna-
leave in the top of the ninth. It wasn't that good anyway.
That's it.
20 years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
They were just showing that clip the other day in the office. That's unbelievable. It seems like yesterday.
Certainly does.
All right.
Well, maybe a little longer than yesterday.
When the Mets
I
owned
remember
the town,
yesterday.
yeah. Did the Mets own the town back then? That was right in the the Danny Tartable era of the Yankees.
Yankees
The
had
Mets
back
had
to
it
that
for
era
like
again.
a year.
Stupid
That was
Steinbrenner.
it. The Mets were big for '86, and then what did they dismantle the team? And that was pretty
And
much
this is
it.
not the Mets town. It's amazing how fucking National League fans are deluded. I mean, the Mets have enough fans, but this is not the Mets. Stop.
The Giants won that year too, the Super Bowl. So that kind of made like a
Stupid Phil
kind of put the
Simms.
Mets kind of.
Dumb blonde hair.
You have
don't
against
like
Phil
it.
Simms?
I just don't like him. Boyish charm.
All right.
You're not sold on the Yankees this year?
No, fucking all hitting.
It's over?
Enough with fucking Bavano and all these shitheads.
Johnny
Randy
Damon?
Johnson, 75. Is Kevin Brown being re-upped again? Fucking Steinbrenner should be decapitated. Cocksucker. Gene Michael built that team when Steinbrenner left. That's why Rivera stayed and Bernie stayed and Jeter stayed and fucking all of them stayed. That's why they kept Joe Girardi when he was batting .250 because they just saw that he got big hits when he needed. They got Brocious. Stupid Steinbrenner.
I've tapped a vein.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
of
guy
course,
is.
he bugs me. He bugs me with that. We don't want A-Rod and fucking and who's the Sheffield. Stop.
All right, here's the thing. You come on my show, you're going to have to maybe lose the F-bombs.
I can
other
knock
than that,
those.
you come on, you do a little Yankees.
Love
Do a little
to.
Yankees?
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to
He's
talk
very
to
passionate.
stupid Brian Cashman, who finally got some kind of autonomy. I think from Steinbrenner. That may have all been George moves. All those. But Randy Johnson, I wanted to throw up when they
Well,
signed
you know what
him.
they say about the George. There have been reports that
gay, right?
the big A, the Alzheimer's, that perhaps.
Oh.
Well, he is crying a lot more.
I think Alzheimer's is the second big A.
Yeah,
you
right.
say the big A,
Yeah, the big A.
You're
The
talking
medium A? I'm
AIDS,
sorry, the
my
medium
friend.
A.
You're
Exactly.
AIDS. It's a cursive A.
You can't walk into a.
It's
the lowercase.
You can't walk into a
lowercase
bathhouse and get 40
cursive
people
A.
Alzheimer's.
What font is Alzheimer's?
The kindergarten
Actually,
A, exactly.
It's Cooper. It's Cooper's dark
dotted paper line A. Yes.
Speaking of the Big A, we
Yeah.
got to play the commercial for Josh Elliott from ESPN Classic.
Here's a classic for you.
Nice. All
This
right.
is what you should play in your show, actually.
All right.
in between
All right.
segments.
We need
Commercial.
programming. I appreciate
Do
it.
you
real
do classic
commercial.
commercials on Classic ESPN?
Hang on, let me write that down.
Wouldn't that be
That's
great in
That's a
between
great
watching
idea,
class?
right?
Stay in the moment.
Classic.
Stay in the moment.
It's not right to fool Mother Nature.
This would be great. This commercial running when they're showing Jean-Claude Keely skiing down the mountain, and then this.
Well, this happened in 1982. What happened in 82 that was big?
That was 82. All right,
I believe 82.
I didn't realize it was.
I guess it
Um,
was the Lakers and the Celtics, probably, right?
In the Yankees, Andy Hawkins threw a 40-hitter.
You know, 82, I think, was the Rockets, actually. It was the Moses Malone Rock. Or 82, 83, it was the Sixers.
Sixers?
Sixers.
With
but that was
Julius
82,
Erving,
83.
right?
Dude,
Julius Erving.
Islanders.
Yeah,
Was that when
we got a cup.
Was
that
that
year.
one of the cups?
Yes, absolutely.
Drive for
The
5.
was that the Mike Bossy? Yeah, that was your
The Mike Bossy.
That was one of the 4. One of the 4.
Was that Doug Williams and the Redskins in 82, 83? No.
Oh, I don't know.
By the way, late 70s, early 80s, NASA was it just killing out there? What was it like out there on the island with the Islanders? Was it just insane?
Islander pride. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Even when they didn't win, they couldn't stop. Let's go. Drive for 5. Whoops, missed. Let's pick up 6. Oh, heaven. Make it 7. They like try to keep the promotional
Bunch
thing
of
going.
dopes.
You lost. It's been 3 years you haven't won. Stop with the numbers. You got to start back at 1,
Your
idiot.
chants are done till you'll get one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cut it out.
Well, here's a classic commercial for you, and it talks about the Big A.
I was overweight and embarrassed to go anyplace. AIDS helped me get back into a size 12.
The AIDS diet plan helped me get back into a size 6.
AIDS helps control your appetite so you lose weight. Yet AIDS lets you taste, chew, and enjoy. And the appetite suppressant in AIDS is not a stimulant.
AIDS helped me lose the weight and has nothing in it that could make me nervous.
Question, why take diet pills when you can enjoy AIDS? AIDS helps you lose weight safely and effectively. Use only as directed.
Take that commercial to your boss, please.
Do you remember that at all?
And tape his response.
AYDS. It was a diet.
Yeah,
Was
AYDS.
it like a little chocolate?
Yep.
The little chocolates,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, I totally remember. And
Absolutely.
they always, it was kind of one of the things that looked good, like the laxatives, the chocolate. And you'd be in your parents' like medicine cabinet, be like, I think I want to, and then like the next.
It was
rest of
the
day
worst
on
thing
the
ever.
phone.
I said it before. My mother had the AIDS, and me and my brother and sister would always be sneaking the AIDS. We would want the AIDS. Oh my god! So we'd go into the refrigerator.
On those AIDS.
And the 3 of us would just sit back and enjoy AIDS.
Did your mother give you AIDS?
My mother would never give us AIDS.
No.
We actually had to sneak and behind her back get the AIDS.
See, they have it all wrong. This is just a family show. This is just a family show.
Where was the AIDS? In the closet?
No,
the
no.
AIDS in the closet?
It was kept on ice in the fridge.
And you know what the problem with AIDS was? The timing of this was awful for this stupid company. And they said that it wasn't only the name, which was so synonymous with the disease, it was the fact that you didn't even ingest these chocolates. They had to be pounded up your asshole.
We want Josh to come back. Josh. We want him to come back.
Everybody knows he's not saying these things.
He's kind of on the fence.
I don't know,
He
though.
likes us, but he's not sure.
Well,
he knows ESPN News is calling soon.
Well, the Nazi, yeah, exactly.
The Nazi thing went a little far.
Kind of back though, because this is what he said it. You
I
guys don't have to own
understand.
that. That's all right.
All right.
It's that announcer voice though at the end. Why
Right.
the when you
Blah,
can
blah,
enjoy
blah.
it with age?
Josh Elliott. I understand the Nazi thing might be a little sensitive, but you know, if you were familiar with the show,
I realized I was not coming on here to whip up some scrambled eggs.
I
understand
But,
that.
but if
because
you're
they'll
familiar
kill
with-
you, they will kill you.
If you're familiar with the show, you'd realize there's this underlying rumor that says that I collect Nazi memorabilia, and I absolutely don't. But for some reason, people are under the assumption I do. I'm Italian. I'm not even German. And for some reason, people
Conspirator.
think I have a conspirator. All right, you got to take the hit. Hey, we changed to the good side at the end.
Why do you have to go? Why does he have to go?
Uh-oh.
Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere.
Does he have to go?
Soon?
Oh, boy.
Wait,
There it is.
We don't start
the
today till
pointing at
noon.
the watch.
Who's
He's
the
having
No,
fun.
it's not 11.
Is he
Who's
pointing
here
at a watch
11?
or a small number tattoo on
Who's
his
here at
forearm?
11? Who's here at 11?
I love this.
Can I stay a little bit? I'm going to stay a little bit.
Who's the guy with the beard?
That's the newly bearded Jay Peterson, one of my great executive producers.
Oh, okay.
These guys had this figured out ahead of time, but now Josh is like, no, you know how
Get him out.
I gave you an excuse to get me out of here. I don't
Yeah.
need the excuse anymore. I'm actually having fun.
Get him out.
No,
Yeah.
I'm good. All right, then let's hurry up here. A couple
News
more
teasers are safe.
Strangers are meeting for sex in public places like this.
At 11, we reveal a dirty secret. The public spots where people have sex. We're not trying to scare you, but warn you. A Your News Channel 3 exclusive tonight at 11 after an all-new CSI Miami.
Warn you. How about some directions?
Yeah, seriously. How about help you? Jeez, get off the schneid. And was that some panting on the way out? What was that?
That was some kind of
that was
sexy
smooth
music
that.
and everything.
Yeah, they
Little
do that,
scratch right
right?
there.
They do that.
That again was listener submitted, so I can't
All right,
give
no
you
worries.
questions, Jimmy.
Let's hurry up. We'll do the last
And this
one
is the
here.
worst one. This is the worst one.
Do you have an
ever.
answer?
And I don't because this was another one that was listener submitted.
Enough up. Hitch.
I'm so glad
I know.
we told you to get the answers because that really helped us today.
Yeah, way to go, Dan.
I think we rethink the whole news tease bit.
Hey, Rock,
I
should you be smiling at this?
If the listeners are going to send in news teasers,
Role
please,
reversal.
please send the answers, okay, for the next time we do this.
Yes.
Or if some listener can call in and tell us all about
Tell
one of
us.
those places.
All right, here we go. Here's the final news tease for today.
It slays 100 children a year, injures more than 2,000 a year. It can be up to 45 feet in size, and its victims never know what hit them. Protecting your child from a hidden killer. Tuesday, starting at 5.
It's a hidden 45-foot-long killer.
Yes.
I don't see that
It's
coming.
a guy who hates chatter on airplanes and in movie theaters.
I didn't even see that 45-foot-long thing coming barreling towards me.
It's 45 feet tall.
Yeah.
It kills children, and we don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but I'd like to.
I will give the boring, real answer. A tornado.
You know what it... No.
Why not?
Tornadoes are taller than 45 feet.
It's kind of hidden. It comes out of nowhere.
No.
Why
It's
not?
like Gigantor or
Yeah.
something. I'm picturing a giant robot crushing children.
It's a giant butterfly.
It's that guy from the cover of Queen's album.
No.
All right. I couldn't think of another giant.
But here's the problem, though. I'm like not. I'm scared. I'm scared to care now. I'm scared to care about this 45-foot-long killer because I'm scared I'm not going to find out what this 45-foot-long killer. Are we? Do we have this one?
No,
I
these
gotta
listeners, they don't give
know.
me the answers, and then you try and get back to them. They never write back.
I have to know.
All right.
Kills 100 kids a year. Probably a slip and slide.
Oh my!
But isn't it a hidden killer, though?
It's hidden. It's hidden.
Maybe the danger is hidden. Maybe they put it by a cliff and don't realize it, and they slip off the cliff. or like a lot of people, they sell wood chippers.
No, and also let's say the dangerous
The little lad
cold.
slips
No.
into a wood chipper.
Toys R Us has a wood chipper they're selling. I have no idea.
Local
It has a
news.
hidden-
Local news does not. They don't understand the adjectives. They don't.
No.
They don't get it. The hidden means you can't see.
You can't see it.
You can't say hidden after you said 45.
45 feet.
I'm sorry.
Can we hear that again?
Tornado.
Can we hear it again?
No,
Maybe
it's,
there's
no
a
way
hint.
it's tornado. Well, let's hear it one more time.
Let's-
Maybe there's a detail
let's
in
give
there
her a
that
listen,
really
shall
gives
we?
a little more.
No.
But Opie, I want to know.
Opie.
I got to
I don't
protect
know where it is,
people.
to be honest with you.
Is it a
Where's
dictatorship?
45 feet.
You asked,
It's a democracy.
How am I going to get back to my
asked.
studio with hidden 45-foot-long killers
I
out
know.
there roaming
We have
the
to
streets?
know.
You sure it's not 4 to 5 feet?
All right, here we go.
See, let's
4 to
listen.
5 feet?
It slays 100 children a year,
Slays.
injures more than 2,000 a year. It can be up to 45 feet in size,
Up to.
and its victims never know what hit them. Protecting your child from a hidden killer. Tuesday, starting at 5.
It's a truck. It's a truck.
A truck that the murdering truck? What is this?
The
a Stephen
killer
King
truck.
movie? Like
45
It
feet
is the
long?
movie Duel. With
It's probably a
Dennis
cord of
Weaver.
some sort. A rat cord that wraps up around their dumb necks. It hurts 2,000 a year or something like that. Maybe it's a rope ladder, something like that.
A vacuum cord that
a vacuum
Well,
cord.
but I think you're going somewhere. The 4
Yeah.
2 5. It's kind of like when you used to bet with your
It could
brother.
be
Like, I'll bet you
up
5
to.
doll hairs. I think you're
Doll
you're
hairs.
good. I think if you slow this down, he is saying
4 to 5
4
feet.
to 5 feet.
it could
long.
be up to
45.
45.
I think it's a cord of some sort.
Now,
Here we go. Dan's got the answer though from Pennsylvania.
What, Dan?
Ben's hog.
There you go. Ben's
hog.
Oh, no, because he wouldn't have said long. He would have said thick.
And it's not hidden. We see
have
it every morning.
Our executive producer has something going on in his pants.
We don't know if
Yeah,
it's
And we're not gay, but
sack.
there's something going on, and we just need to know what it is.
We think
That's all.
he's smuggling beach balls.
We think it might be one of those giant balls.
Yeah, yeah, the
with a
package.
really tiny penis.
Yeah. He's like,
Maybe it's just a big wallet. It's like a Costanza wallet. He just carries it in his front pocket.
We just need to know. That's all. It's one of those questions we need answered.
Help us out.
Boom goes the dynamite before you
Love
leave.
it.
It's Josh
But
Elliott.
can I
from-
also say this from ESPN Classic?
ESPN
I will
Classic.
say this. You got to log on because you got to see this. You got the video because the deer in the headlights. This poor kid. I don't, he might have thrown himself into traffic already or been killed by a hidden 45-foot-long killer.
Mm-hmm.
But the video helps with this.
Yeah.
That
it does,
said,
'cause
the
he's
dynamite
so-
does go boom.
He's so scared.
All right, here we go. Boom goes the dynamite.
And understand, he's like 30 seconds behind on every
Can we
highlight.
Can we
He's doing
play-
a basketball highlight, and somebody's like hitting a 3-run homer to left.
Is track 2 in track 1? No. 2 separate tracks. 2 separate tracks. Do you have time for 2 separate tracks? Of
course I do.
wait, Josh. Oh, so he's not like a live commentator. He's actually
He's a sportscaster.
Oh, okay. I
He's doing the
misunderstood.
highlights.
It's like a college. It's like
Okay.
a college station.
Okay, he's doing a TV.
So they got him, and up is the.
I thought he was. I thought he was a play-by-play guy. All right.
And I will say, this is the danger, like you were saying, Opie, of ESPN. This is
Right.
the ESPNization of the sports world.
Yeah.
Everybody feels the need to actually.
What you're
say
not going to
that.
see, unfortunately, because you really got to see the video clip, like Josh said. He's way behind the action as he's trying to tell you what's going
All
on.
nervous.
Here we go. Oops.
Got to close that door.
Please. That might
Close the
work.
barn door.
Hello, everyone. Well, the Ball State softball team continued to play this
Right from the
weekend,
start.
and they were hoping to continue off of their straight 3 out of 4 losses. And so we'll take a look and see how that happened.
And there's baseball on.
They started off good, but then eventually, the Ball State women's team shut down and ended up doing poorly.
Hockey.
Oh no. And okay, we're going to continue on now. And the Ladies Cardinals will play an Iowa tournament starting this Friday.
Baseball.
Before the Ball State baseball team kicks off its conference season this weekend, the Cards will battle an in-state rival Indiana tomorrow. Tomorrow's game will be the meeting between the two, beating both.
He's eating it so bad.
Oh.
Hoosiers are on the 4 on the year, and they have won 6 of its last 7 games. Tomorrow will be the game 3 at 3 p.m.
I lied. This is good radio.
Switching to Ball State men's tennis, it seems
Which he didn't.
week player on. It seems every week they have a player.
Give him a hug.
Matt Lawrence is the latest Cardinals tennis player to win the award. Lamar won all the singles and doubles matches last week. So far, the Cardinals have had a player honored on the weekly awards. 7 out of the 9 weeks. The Cards will play at Boise State Invite this weekend.
Do you know if the news had any type of ball, somebody should hire this guy.
Oh.
He is fiercely entertaining.
Would you watch this every night
It's
and
all
just
I'd
screw
ever
his
watch.
clips up
Absolutely.
and watch him almost crying?
And then one of those little dead air moments, he just looks at somebody off camera and mouths, "I'm so sorry."
Just like watching Chris Berman.
I love that.
He's so,
well, here's the famous.
I'm eating my balls.
Here's the famous "Boom Goes the Dynamite" that Ron and Fez play all the time.
Yeah.
This is where that clip came from. Same
So
guy.
this is key. This is still going on. Dying 1,000 deaths at this point, and we get to some basketball finally.
The Indiana Pacers are looking for a measure of revenge tonight against the New Jersey Nets and to strengthen their playoff hopes. The Nets won the last Sunday's matchup 94-85, which left the Pacers 1 game behind the Chicago in the 7th series spot. Let's check out the highlights. Steven Jackson's David.
Wait for it.
Reggie Miller's looking good. He shoots a 3, and it's good.
Wait for it.
Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite. The final scores ended up with the Pacers 63 to the Nets 61.
He had to get his after all that bombing. Wouldn't you just not use your catchphrase? Perhaps you'd forego the catchphrase and just try to get oxygen.
God.
And save it for next time.
The catchphrase without irony, boy.
Because he wanted to use that from the beginning of the broadcast.
You can see
wanted
him sweating. He's uncomfortable in his own
Is that
skin.
a one-time thing, or was he like a regular on that College station?
Nah, I think it's a regular thing. And what the best part though is he does that. It comes back. He's finished. And he's got, the woman, the female anchor, the male anchor, and he's clearly the kid that's been kicked around, beat up his whole life. And the guy looks over, and they're just shocked. They are stunned, and the guy goes, "Thanks for that, Frank." And he just looks at him and says,
yeah. Horrified.
All
Great
right.
video.
We really got to get Josh Elliott out of here.
Can I ask a final question?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's this arrogance on ESPN that really pisses me off.
All right. Wow. All right. Here we
my
go.
They never, ever say the word RBIs anymore. You get 8 runs batted in. They'll always say 8 RBI. And that changed a couple of years ago. Who the fuck tells you guys to do that? It drives me absolutely insane.
RBI, they
Linda
say?
Cohn, whatever.
Instead of RBIs.
Yeah, because it's not a word. It's runs batted in. So now they'll say he got 8 RBI.
So now it's the same thing. These announcers that say, like, they've got 2 times out left. These people that are like, they're pluralizing, like, I have
like
no
RBI
idea.
is a word.
We were brought up
America.
knowing RBIs.
Of
It was
course.
just, that's what it was.
But it changed where now they all kind of do that. And I wonder if does ESPN tell you, about
what?
your diction?
I think every sportscaster.
I'm going to
tell
get
you
to the
your
bottom of
diction?
that.
Yes.
I'm going to
I
get
don't
to
think
the
it's just
bottom,
ESPN
and I will
answer
bring it
for
back
us.
to you.
Oh, it drives
Every
me
sports
absolutely
every
crazy.
sportscaster does the RBI. That was, he.
They used to call them ribbies.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Ribby.
Right, it changed a couple
Oh,
years
you.
ago, whatever. And all the time now, and I want to throw something through my fucking TV.
And you noticed it right away, didn't you? You knew something was wrong,
Absolutely.
didn't you? See?
Because it's RBIs. We're Americans. It's baseball.
All right.
It's not RBI. Oh, it's,
I got him covered. I got you covered. I won't let you down. I promise.
thanks for
angry
bringing
RBI
I'll get to the.
guy.
I will get to the bottom of this.
Why can't they just put... Yeah, speaking of RBIs. It's my brother's bit. He's going to get angry. You
What's
can
that?
hear the
It's
anger
your
in his
bit.
voice.
That was
He's already
nice.
mad.
You said that you did it.
Well-
You said your brother took it from you.
Yeah, well, I came up with it.
Speaking of coming up.
Old whore.
Now we got to explain this to Josh. You got to come back. We got so much to explain
Nice.
to you.
I'll catch up.
We hate Sex in the City.
I'm with you.
One of the worst characters on there is stupid Samantha.
Where she's having sex all the time. We're supposed to believe that she's a hot piece of ass.
And she's
no, you're
weathered
not.
and old.
And
she
how-
might have been hot in Mannequin.
It's like hang. If you hung out, my problem with that, and I try to explain to my wife to no avail. Those people would not hang out with each other. Those 4 characters would hate each other.
Right, claw
they
their
would
eyes out.
hate each other, and
Very
that's
good
what they
point.
would do. It would be vicious.
Good
it would
point,
be a
sir.
loathing. Oh yeah, let's go have breakfast every day. Oh, and by the way, Sarah Jessica Parker. If you're going to look like that, you don't actually eat. So don't have the food show up with the big omelets and here you are stuffing you're lying. That is a lie.
The
They're all
sausage
lies.
reminds me of last night.
They are all
I had one this
lies.
big in my ass.
Oh,
Yeah, we know. You're a
do
slut.
not get me started
We
on that
understand. You're a slut.
You're
we
a
get
slut,
it.
right.
Every week.
All right, Josh from ESPN Classic. We really don't
Classic.
know what you do there, but we had fun with you.
I've watched the show.
No, what is the show about, really?
It's Classic Now, 7 p.m. Eastern weeknights. It's kind of sort of rethinking what a daily sports show could be. I mean, Classic really wanted some daily programming, and so we kind of take to the day's sports news and try to put it in context, perspective, kind of look back. See if something like this happened before, what kind of happened after that. It's also a way to, a lot of anniversaries, a lot of great guys to have on talking to, we'll have John Wooden come on, talk about the NCAA tournament. It's kind of cool. It's like, it's a very cool way to sort of not get the same old stuff. I mean, I wouldn't come, if you want a little idea of where this all came from, come to our show. It's a great show. It's a great way to
I think
spend
we're all
going to
check it out now because, man,
Nice.
they're definitely very cool.
It's
We'd
nice.
love to have you back,
It's
Josh.
good.
It's
It's
Josh
good.
Elliott from ESPN Classic Now, Monday through Friday, 7 and 11 p.m., right?
Indeed. And, like
Any
2 a.m.
big guests coming on the show in the near future you want to plug?
Who do we have today? Do we have Jerry West today? Jerry West
Look at
and
that,
Jerry Sloan?
West, the logo of the NBA.
Who? I can't read my...
Wait, let's try to read
I
his
can't
lips.
read your lips with the beard, all right?
read
But
lips.
this is a good bit.
What?
Reading
We
lips.
want to read your
this
lips.
is good radio.
I think he said
Who is
Mookie
that guy?
Blaylock.
Who do we got today? Jerry Sloan. We got Quinn Buckner. Jerry Sloan, of course, the coach of the Utah Jazz. Karl Malone's number being retired today.
Yes.
How about Bob Apodaca? Could you guys get him in?
Yes. But can we get this guy in?
Yeah, sure.
Jimmy Norton.
F bombs? Can we get the F bombs?
I can
okay?
drop. I don't have to curse.
No, he doesn't
He's
curse.
good like that.
I can replace
but
it
he's
with
very
a C.
passionate.
You're
He
looking
doesn't,
at
he doesn't have to work blue. All right.
You're looking at a big star. He's going to be on HBO in the very near future.
I'll cut it out.
He's part of
On one of the
I'm
TV
serious.
series.
He's going to be.
I'm a huge fan. Look, the whole Last Comic Standing thing.
Oh,
kinda,
thank you.
I just it kind of lost it for me when they made you leave.
No, they had to.
Don't
I mean-
even worry about that. He's on HBO
Oh.
now. A show called Lucky Louie.
Yeah.
He's going to blow up in like 2 months from right now.
Before I know I have to go. I realize that, but what happened to that thing?
I had a contract with Viacom, MTV, then MTV would not budge and let me out of it.
Really?
And it was conflicted with the time in the house.
Because God forbid you get a little bigger and get some nice airtime on a network, and then you can go do your thing for MTV?
That's what we said to them. They made me do
genius.
2 awful pilots at spring break, but I'm actually glad it worked out that way. It all worked out great.
Yeah, it worked out for Jimmy
Yeah,
big time.
tell us
Good.
about it.
Josh, thanks.
Absolutely.
This was great. You're going to have to come back, all right?
I will.
If they allow you.
Absolutely.
Because this is what happens.
I probably won't.
Then you get back to the office.
And they go, you'll never do that show again.
Yeah, so let's see. Miscarriage, Nazis, and AIDS. Good.
Oh, my.
It's a good 15 minutes.
Tonight
All right.
on ESPN Classic Sports.
All right, boys. And
all right.
you know what's great is we don't go to break as I leave. It's just
we get to talk about
the show.
Like I
keeps
walk
going.
in, I'm like, oh hey guys, how's it going?
You know what?
Yeah, we're on.
I'll tell you exactly what happens if we didn't like you. We actually sit here and make you leave awkwardly.
Yeah. But kind of like this.
That's our little thing.
Kind of like this.
That's what we do to guests we really don't like. But
what you should do is you should put some speakers like out in the lobby by the elevator, so that when the person's out, the door is locked.
they can hear everything?
Is that the biggest loser I have
What
ever
a
heard?
it depends how big you are. We'll do that if it's a little old lady like Dr. Ruth Westheimer. But if it's someone like from the WWE or something, we'll have a code. Are the speakers off? Speakers off.
Turn everything off. Turn everything off out there. They're off.
That guy was a cock.
But you had a guy at the door there who was not letting us in. I was very impressed.
That's
Yes,
Master
gentlemen,
Poe.
Master Poe.
He's the real deal.
I mean, I'm not finding out. I'm just going to assume that you
We
could
think
kill
Don't
me
challenge
with your
into a
pinky.
stick fight.
I'm with you.
We're not sure, but we think he has killed.
All right. So so to sum up, miscarriage, Nazi, AIDS, and news teases with no answers.
And
The most offensive thing out of what you just said, by the way, is not getting the answers.
Not getting the answers.
yeah.
All right.
Hey, we got to talk
Very
about this
disappointing.
contest we're doing for the four teams that remain in the NC. We're not allowed to say Final Four.
Why?
Well, don't say it. You just said it.
Yeah.
Well, seriously, why?
You know, like when the Super Bowl comes around, you got to say the big game.
They've actually turned
Now
the Final Four is
the
like
Final
the Super
Four
Bowl.
decided, hey, that's a great idea. So now we have to say between the remaining 4 teams in the NCAA
The
College
remaining
Basketball
4 teams rolls off the
Championship
tongue
tournament.
like Final Four.
And you know what?
We want to say Final 5 minus 1.
Well, seriously, then that's good.
Yeah.
Final 2 squared. I mean,
Plus
it's
2?
ridiculous.
Final 2 times 2.
So what's this? What's the contest? It
It
sounded vaguely sportsy.
It's our friends at Bodog.net. They're providing us with a trip for one lucky pest. Our audience are pests. And a pest guest, to attend the games between the remaining 4 teams in the NCAA College
Also
Basketball
known in some
Championship
circles
tournament.
as the Final Four,
Ridiculous.
but
I'll say it.
obviously not here.
Want to go? Simple. Boom goes the dynamite. let us know what you do for the trip. Log on to howcrazyareYou.com. Is that the URL?
Yes.
HowcrazyareYou.com, and tell us what you're willing to do. And if we like it, you come down to the studio Thursday. Isn't that tomorrow?
That's why we're taking tomorrow off.
No. You
guess
do
we
your
have to be
little
here tomorrow.
stunt. You do your thing. And if we like it best, you'll be off to the Hoops Tournament with a guest. How about that?
The Hoops Tournament.
The Hoops Tournament.
Who is writing this stuff?
And we'll send you to the throw the round ball through the ring contest.
It's lawyers. Wait till the lawyers get
Lawyers
get a
their
hold of you
mitts
there,
in things
Josh.
and
But the
screw it up.
Final Four? You can't say the Final Four.
No.
We're all in trouble. Shh. They'll hear you. They'll hear. There are witches.
It's a satellite. The final. That's the F-bomb on satellite.
Well, then
radio?
we have some mumbo jumbo legal shit we have to say.
Must be legal continental U.S. resident, 21 or older, an XM satellite radio subscriber. Contest runs 3/20/06 to 3/23/06. Subject to official rules at www.howcrazyareYou.com. See official rules for prize descriptions and complete details. Void where prohibited.
So let me get this straight. I'm Hawaiian.
Yeah.
I can't participate in this
Right.
contest.
Is that what they're
a
getting at?
continental? Is that what that said? A continental?
Continental United States. Alaskans, go screw.
No.
Basically,
You're not allowed.
How many teams are there in Hawaii and
That's
Alaska?
not
that mean
continental.
anything?
Hawaii had a fine team.
No, but I mean professional teams.
Who's going to win this year?
Who should win?
Yeah.
UConn.
Absolutely.
They're far better than anybody
Jimmy,
else.
who do you think?
I was going to go with UConn, but a lot of people are saying no.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jimmy, what do you think?
Rutgers.
My pick
they're
was
alive.
Seton Hall, but you know.
Yeah, we all know
Dorm
what happened
fire.
there.
What happened there? No idea. Are they still in? No,
Wait,
right?
come on. He might come back still. He might come back. Jimmy, we like him.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
It's horrible. Jimmy.
So, and it's void where prohibited. So,
Man, I need a Jimmy on my show. I need an inner monologue that just runs free.
It's
I
just
love that.
Jimmy. Jimmy on your shoulder.
I'm gonna give thanks.
and the
for
void where
satellite.
prohibited.
I walk out of
The
here.
void where prohibited. We don't really get that concept. Like somewhere.
Well, apparently
somebody
it's
is
void
put-
in Hawaii
And Alaska.
So, void in
Is
Hawaii.
that where the void where prohibited, or is there? A
Well,
small
I don't know.
town
I
somewhere?
think it's continental U.S. and then somewhere else it's probably void where prohibited.
Right.
By law.
And like U.S. Virgin Islands are out. Don't even bother. Puerto
Probably-
Rico out.
probably in the
Guam.
area-
No Guam.
Don't waste
no
our time, Guam.
Probably
Stop,
in the
Guam.
area of America where they're seeing leprechauns.
I bet it's. I
Or
bet a lot of
pimps.
things are void where
Or
prohibited
pimps.
there. Yeah.
The leprechaun pimp. There's an
Acorn.
idea. Hey,
All right.
there you go for MTV. There's a show right there.
The
Could be the
leprechaun
leprechaun pimp.
That's right.
That's good.
Pimp my leprechaun.
All right, let's
You
all
know.
thank Josh Elliott from ESPN
Josh,
Classic.
thank you,
from
sir.
Classic Now. He's
was
the host.
awesome.
See, we like you, so this is how we do it.
Good. Now we'll go to break.
Now
right?
we go to break. Yes. All right.
And
Central Park Coyote captured in New York City.
No.
Breaking news. Where's our Fox News alert? We got breaking news. God damn it. Hold on here.
This just in, Central Park Coyote captured in New York City. We're looking from our XM Sky Chopper 4 and high above Central Park. We're seeing a chase, a pursuit, a foot pursuit of the coyote. Police appear to be shooting him with a tranquilizer dart. He goes down. The danger is over. The coyote, Central Park Coyote, again, captured in Central Park.
In honor of the Central Park Coyote.
Yes.
And boom goes the dynamite.
And boom goes the coyote.
All right, we got to say hi to Judah. Judah Friedlander's back in studio. What's up,
Hey,
Judah?
thanks for having me.
Ben-Hur.
That's right. Thanks for having me back, guys.
Judah was
Appreciate it.
really, really enjoying the Pal Talk.
Yeah, that's
during
good
the commercial
stuff,
break.
man.
It is a lot of fun, isn't it?
Norton showing his ass goes a long way with the chicks.
Well, the girls
it's
give.
worth it. It's worth it.
And
to give back.
Jimmy has to give back, and
Yeah,
he
give
does.
back.
He showed his ass. Ugh.
believe me, I'd pull out the hog and show it too if I didn't think that I'd get fired from XM.
Well, you grabbed it.
Why not?
You
Show
put
him
it
what they're
on
missing.
camera, the front of his crotch through his pants, and then grabbed it through his pants.
Trousers.
Very manic.
Chicks wanted it, so.
We got a question for Judah right off the bat from Movie Guy, Kent.
Uh-huh.
Kent, what's up?
Hey, I have some questions for Judah.
Are you going to bore us to death, or are they going to be questions that everyone wants to know the answer to?
Well, I wanted to know what was up with the movie he did for, what was that show? The show on Bravo?
Oh, Project Greenlight, the horror
Project
movie.
Greenlight, yeah.
Feast.
What happened to that?
Yeah, I just ran to the director. I heard it's gonna open in October. It's getting some kind of a release in October, and then DVD. It's like midnight screenings, and then
Yeah.
DVD in October. A lot of blood and guts in that movie. It was fun. I had maggots all over my body and my face.
Really? Real
Up my
maggots?
Real maggots in my mouth, up my nose.
Ah.
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool.
But they're not dangerous, right?
No.
They're just
No,
creepy.
They're just maggots. Yeah,
Ah.
but it was cool.
Yeah,
Did you swallow any?
I don't know. I had to shoot one out of my nose. It's like an
Jesus.
effect. It's like a rocket.
A little rocket snot.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it was a maggot.
Can't
Yeah.
they green screen that some?
Yeah,
Can't they
but
just paint your
we
face
want to do the
green
old
and-
school effects. You know,
Yeah.
very little computer effects. Make it old school. Just
Nice.
lots of buckets of blood and a bunch of hot chicks in the movie.
How'd they get maggots in your mouth? They just like
I
scooped
put
it-
them in there.
Ew. Dude,
It was my idea because I figured the movies. It's like a horror comedy, and the grosser it is, theoretically, the funnier it should be. So I was like, "Fuck it, let's
That's
go
the
for
formula.
it." Yeah,
And
You know.
maggots in the mouth. Very funny.
yeah.
Judah's
yeah.
lived in roach-infested places, though, so nothing bothers him.
I
Yeah.
actually have. I'm trying to get. Years ago, I took video because my place was so roach infested. All my videotapes had roaches like living in them.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like they crawled in the cassette
Yeah, yeah. They
itself?
again started like nests within the videotapes and stuff. I have some old footage of it.
How many roaches would you guess?
Just hundreds and hundreds. At
You
this
just saw
place.
them every day?
Yeah, like because I finally after like 4
Because I
months.
see one every once in a while in my place.
After every time I used to open my door, I'd open my front door, and then a roach would just come shooting down the door, just crawling down.
Ah.
I'd be like, whoa, what the fuck, you know? And then finally, after months and months, I opened my door up all the way, and on the side of the door, when it opens up, just the whole thing covered with roaches. The entire thing covered with roaches. And then one day we got I got this super roach spray, and I got my friend with a video camera. We just sprayed them all, and just like, hundreds of roaches just
dying.
At once. It was pretty cool. But yeah, always had to shake the clothes.
You ever get them in bed with you? You like?
Yeah. You have to shake the clothes, shake the sheets.
You fuck them?
No. But
you ever have one crawling you, dude? He would tell me roach stories, and I'm such a bugophobe. It would fucking drive me nuts.
But it's not all bugs, but roaches are one of those bugs that just skeeve me out.
Yeah.
Really bad. I don't know why. It's not like they're any uglier really than any other bug, are they?
Maggots weren't as bad as roaches. Maggots are
bad.
slow. They're slow. They don't really move much.
Yeah.
You put them on you and they stay there.
The
but
roaches are scary.
Roaches are quick, man.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe that's the whole thing why they're bad. I remember I was on a job site in a basement of a brownstone in Manhattan here, and I had to take a dump. So I had to go down to the basement bathroom, and I'm sitting on the bowl, and it's just this stark cement, like, bathroom with a toilet bowl in it. So I'm taking a dump, and I hear, and coming right at me, towards me, was this giant cockroach coming right at me. And I have like half a loaf coming out, and I swear, my asshole was like a guillotine. Boom! Stopped it and jumped up without wiping. It was just a mess. I let out a little eek. It was horrifying. And I'm just thinking this roach did that to everybody. Just knew. I'm going to scare the shit out of the next guy that's taking a shit.
Actually scare the shit back into you.
Yeah.
Is there anything worse than fucking squeezing off a log with half of it still in there when you're trying to wipe and an hour later you're still pulling out humps?
Nothing. You got half of it right there.
It's fucking awful.
Half the train pulled up to the station. It's waiting. Just waiting there.
Hey, Ken, another question?
Yeah, I was
The
wondering,
first one was really exciting, by the way. Thank you.
Wait, what was that?
The first question was really exciting, so we appreciate the help today.
You're Kent the movie guy until we get anybody that's even a little better at movies.
That's right. Keep that
Wow.
in mind. Keep that in mind.
Just want to keep
But
you
is the
on your
director
toes.
John Gulager as creepy as he seems?
No, Gulager's actually
Great follow-up question, by the way.
Gulager's
Yeah,
a totally cool dude. Yeah, weird dude. And but yeah, the crew, they gave him some of the crew gave him a lot of shit and some didn't, 'cause he was a contest winner, but I think the guy's visually really good, and the movie's got like I've only seen bits of it, but it's got a real like Evil Dead type vibe and
nice.
cool camera work and
yeah,
Gulager's he's got a twisted sense of humor, so I don't think there's gonna be anything corny in the movie. The movie kind of makes fun of corny movies. So
Kent, you done?
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Kent.
Terrific job today. Thanks.
All right, bye.
Every appearance, by the way, could be Kent's last on the show.
I thought Kent was compelling.
Take them.
I want to ask Judah about a movie that I've been watching get filmed in my neighborhood. Chapter 27.
Oh yeah.
What part are you playing in Chapter 27?
I play. Yeah, Chapter 27 is a really sad, creepy.
It is
movie.
creepy to watch.
Yeah.
It's a John Lennon movie, or actually, it's a Mark David Chapman movie.
Yeah,
I guess, right?
Oh. Yeah, it's about the murder of John Lennon. Yeah,
and so they're filming scenes right outside the Dakota with Jared Leto as Mark David Chapman.
Yeah,
he looks so much like Mark David Chapman that you're creeped out on the sidewalk, going, "Oh my God, this is how it had to be that day."
Yeah,
and just like on the sidewalk with his little book there, just rocking back and forth.
Yeah, it was. He was
in character, is what I'm.
He was in character the whole
really
time.
Creepy, man.
He was in character the whole time, and he was really good. Pretty much all my scenes were with him. I played this guy. It's a character based on a photographer who was actually the person who took the photograph of the real Mark David Chapman, getting the autograph from the real John Lennon, who's the only guy that got that photo, because this guy was like an amateur paparazzi guy, so he used to hang out in front of the Dakota all the time, where Lennon lived, and actually got to know Mark David Chapman because Chapman stalked him for about 3 days. This guy had no idea, how insane,
great judge of character.
Nobody did. He hung out in front of there. The door guys knew that he was there and everything for like 3 days.
Wait, the photo was taken the day of the murder or no?
The day of the murder, yeah. I think it's the last photo of Lennon alive too. Was the photo that this guy took.
How long before the shooting?
I think it was this. I think it was the same. I think it was just several hours. I can't remember, but yeah. So I play that photographer. Yeah. So
whatever happened to that photographer anyway?
I don't know.
Has he taken other great shots? Probably not.
I don't know.
How do you top that?
That's what I'm saying.
Go to Africa and shoot a lion.
Yeah, I don't know if it's possible, but yeah. So I think there was a lot of opposition to making the movie, like because when we were shooting it there, some people would come by and screaming and stuff.
Oh, they were just
but you know what?
pissed
I understand. Because it's such a.
Are they going to shoot John Lennon being shot?
What's that?
Are they going to shoot John Lennon actually being shot in this movie?
The movie basically starts from the Mark David Chapman character coming to New York. It sounds like a 3-day trip, and then from him getting arrested.
Okay.
So I think some of that's covered, but that's the small part of the movie.
Yeah. I heard they're going to shoot it somewhere else because.
Yeah, perhaps you shouldn't do it right there.
Yeah. Dakota said no way to that.
Yeah,
Actually, Dakota said no way to all this, but they're just, you're allowed to shoot on the sidewalk in New York.
Right. They shot some in front of it on the streets and the sidewalk, and then some on a soundstage in Brooklyn, and
it was a lot of fun to watch. All the paparazzi coming out to get shots of Jared Leto and Lindsay Lohan. She's in the movie.
Yeah,
who does she play?
She plays a person also based on a real
not the
person.
nicest person, by the way, Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, I didn't work with her too much. So.
She is whatever.
What
a
happened?
goose.
What did you do?
Oh, I didn't do anything personally.
Did you go up to her and say something?
I didn't.
You didn't?
Somebody else did to help out a young fan, and she was too busy reading lines. It was just a whole scene that was ridiculous.
Maybe she was busy.
She had nah. She had an attitude.
And
there was a little girl too.
Maybe
She couldn't take a picture with a little girl. It's like, come on.
Maybe
Stop.
it was cocaine.
And it wasn't. And they weren't even close to filming. This was like they were just setting up and stuff. Whatever.
Oh, really?
Maybe he's good friends with Lindsay Lohan.
Whatever.
Maybe Judah's banging her.
No,
are you banging her?
Yeah, it could be.
But she's in the movie as
if there's
well.
a chick, I'm probably banging.
And then one of the paparazzi, he's legendary. He just would not say no. He was like just. I'm surprised they didn't arrest him because he's the guy that had a bandage on his face recently because he got beat up by somebody.
Oh, I think I know who you mean. Yeah.
This guy's
there was a lot of paparazzi there.
This guy's legendary. All the rest of the paparazzi.
I'm forgetting his name, but I know who you mean.
The paparazzi in general, people get a really bad reputation. Obviously, this guy is hated by the paparazzi. That's how bad he is.
Right. Why? Who is he?
He's really famous. I just don't know his name offhand.
Yeah, I'm blanking on his name. He's
been in
a
lot of
every premiere
scuffles.
you see him, and yeah, he's at everything.
Dark hair, curly dark hair with glasses.
He a scumbag?
I think he's just kind of half nuts. The guy
because they wreck shots for everybody else. Because of him, they push paparazzi to other angles and other areas of the set.
Go getter.
Yeah. That whole paparazzi. It's a weird thing. Yeah, the whole thing. But yeah, the movies. It's like because some people were complaining that it's celebrating the murder and stuff like that, and the script really isn't. I think it's kind of examining people's ridiculous obsession with celebrity and how people go insane over it. So it wasn't something that is looking down on anything about John Lennon or trying to promote this Mark David Chapman guy. It's.
I love how you got to make excuses these days.
Yeah,
to make a movie.
They make movies about World War II,
right?
About Vietnam, about fucking rape.
Right.
They make movies about tap dancing.
Yeah, because there were all these. There were like some. I think some websites started to say, "Don't let this movie get made" and all this stuff.
Stop it!
And they're just like,
I was a guy in a band. Shut up.
Yeah,
exactly. How is Steve Byrne, by the way, as Yoko?
Oh, he was excellent, man. I tell you, good casting.
So that sounds like it's going to be an interesting movie.
Yeah, it was like I said,
it's a Canadian company too or something like that.
Does
that even matter?
I didn't know it could be. I just know it was a low budget independent movie.
But I got to tell you, Jared Leto looks.
He did a great job. All my scenes were
like
with him,
It's
and
creepy.
to
see him outside the Dakota, you're like, this is exactly what it was back in 1980.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Yeah,
right on.
But,
and Yoko Ono just was not happy at all.
Why?
Because they were filming.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand.
Absolutely.
She still lives there.
That's got to be beyond creepy.
Look out the window and go, "Oh, that's nice."
Deal with that.
Oh, great! I got to relive this.
Let me look at that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You think
she's
looking
a
out
big
the
place there?
She's looking out the window, going, "That's not really how it happened."
No.
He was more open.
Move over a little.
Is she thinking to herself, like,
Eek.
So,
think she has a nice apartment in the Dakota?
Probably.
Maybe she owns it.
How much you think a place goes for?
That's got to be 40, 50 grand.
Could be a little more than that, Jimmy.
They have free meals.
Hey, we do have the audio of the setup car. We have to do this before we get out of here.
Yeah, let's hear setup car.
You want to
I love
explain?
this. Another one of
Judah?
these stings. They're great. What they do is the cops set up a car to be stolen. They put it in a bad neighborhood, and they have it rigged.
They'll leave the key in it or something like that.
But they also have it rigged electronically where they can then shut it off and lock the doors.
So now you're stuck.
Now whoever's in there can't run, and they can't make excuses that they didn't steal the car because it's the cop's car.
And these guys go into panic mode. They try to break the glass and
so
get out.
it is like Alan Funt should be in there.
Yeah, that should be a show.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why can't we throw shows like this on TV?
Yeah. Well, it's called the news.
No, it's called, what, being moral or something? What?
I don't know. I like the police chase video shows. I love watching that.
Well, because the Internet Predator show we love. But
Internet Predator is great. Anytime there's a hidden camera or someone doing something they shouldn't be doing, guy pissing in the boss's coffee pot. How many times have you watched that? It's great stuff. People love it. Eat that shit up.
Yes, here we go.
What you're watching is a car thief about to have a very bad day.
Holy shit, it's Internet Predator guy.
A very
It's the
bad
same
day.
guy.
Look at the coyote in the water.
What? Is this
Where'd he?
I thought we caught the damn thing.
I think it
Still
was a
going?
replay.
Yeah, there's a bear now.
They showed him jumping. Oh my God, a bear is loose in Central Park.
And you know what?
Grr.
We might. I don't think we've ever done this before on our brand new show. We might have to play something for the third time in the same day.
Well,
we might have to. That's a little tease for Judah.
But let's stick to it now.
We'll see how good you are.
Okay.
We got
Let's
a little
stick
treat
to the
for you.
car.
Yeah, so the car thing.
thieves.
It's the same reporter that did the
What's his name?
Predator. I don't know, but he's got this, the dumb TV voice.
He talks completely
As he's picking
unnaturally.
up predators.
Sex.
We're looking at car thieves.
Yeah.
About to have a very bad day.
Is it Chris Hansen?
This will end up being a catastrophe for these car thieves.
Catastrophe.
Here we go.
What you're watching is a car thief about to have a very bad day. He doesn't know it yet, but the car he just stole is a trap set by the Dallas Police Department. He's already locked in. Every turn he takes is being tracked by satellite. Every move he makes is caught on hidden cameras as police close in. Same with this guy. And her. They're all just minutes from being arrested.
They think they got away, scot clean, and then all of a sudden they see the police behind them.
Dallas police have arrested 97 people for trying to steal so-called bait cars since the vehicles were first put on the streets here 18 months ago. Perhaps more importantly, auto thefts in the city have dropped by double digits as fear has spread among thieves that the next car they steal could be one of these.
We'd like to show you the outside of one of the bait cars, but for obvious reasons, police don't want you to see what they look like. Let's just say they're the kind of cars pros like to steal.
And police departments nationwide love the idea of letting the bad guys come to them, or at least their cars. In Columbus, Ohio, they've even added a soundtrack. It's all bad news for thieves, but a classic win-win for police and insurance companies who provide the bait cars, hundreds nationwide, for free. Still, there's a car stolen in the U.S. every 26 seconds or so. $7.5 billion worth of wheels gone in 60 seconds.
Most thieves are opportunists. If they see an opportunity, they're going to take it. Got a driver's license, insurance card?
In Dallas, most thieves are still caught the hard way by good old-fashioned police work. But officers here are making the most of their new tool and having some laughs along the way. Catching car thieves in the act. For today, Don Teague, NBC News, Dallas.
I love the soundtrack. That's brilliant. We're thinking they could play Baby You Can Drive My Car. Not. Or
but this is actually a pretty smart deterrent tactic if you think about it. But
Definitely.
that added insult with the Bad Boys We Got You in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Certainly looked like they had audio from inside the car.
They didn't.
No, they didn't.
That stunk.
Damn it. Gonna have to watch it.
It's brand new fishing, though. You're just going fishing.
Just fishing.
Just leave the bait out there.
I think we got a nibble.
Whistle.
Or
get a 6-pack.
Yeah. You'll get a big catfish, big bottom feeder. And my friend Judah, who I love, wants to plug a gig. And this, I'm going to say for the record, because this is the only comedian or friend I will ever allow to plug this club on this show.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh, no, it's the club that Jimmy doesn't like.
You're letting him plug this
Judah,
club?
he really like Judah.
Judah's got
really like him.
No, Judah's a good comic, man. I would recommend seeing Judah, even if he wasn't my friend, because he's fucking hilarious.
Thanks, man.
But you're just doing this because he's a really good friend.
Well, no, but I mean,
you really don't like this club at all.
Oh, I hate fucking Gotham.
Why do you hate Gotham? What happened?
Because when I was doing the Tonight Show, it was an abomination nightmare to get on. I think this happened with 2 different Tonight Show appearances. That fucking coward manager that ran the club. I don't know. We got to talk to them at the owner. I'm like, look, I got a Leno date in a week. I just need to come in this week.
You want to do a guest spot to work on your set?
My 5 minutes.
Okay.
4 minutes plus 2 minutes panel.
Right.
It was a spot already. And the fucking ringer they put me and my management through. Then finally we get Mazzilli on the phone. He goes, I'd love to have you run the club. It's that passive-aggressive shit. I'd like to have you work club. And then of the 5 days I needed, he gave me 3 of them. But the reason he wouldn't give me one of the other days is because it was a Latin show or some shit, and one was a fucking bringer show, which means young amateurs show up with their friend. And a Latin show, I'd love to see a fucking black comic wanting to go on and work out a Tonight Show set and have him say, nah, man, we got all white comedians. I would fucking love to see that shit happen. Never. Passive-aggressive shit. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, but it was theme night.
All right.
Exactly.
That's a good plug.
And that's the all. No, but Judah's really. That's not even the same club.
But Jimmy, you were.
Well, I'm actually. I hate to break this to you, but I'm
Different
actually.
club.
No, I'm performing on Latin night there.
Oh, wow. What a slap in the face.
Maybe I really shouldn't do it.
Slap in the face.
No, I would go see.
No, that sucks. No, I know what you mean. I mean, in the clubs, and it happens. You know, it's so many of them, and it certainly happens to me constantly. You know. Bullshit happens all the time.
Awful.
It's fucking frustrating.
That's the only
shit.
club that did that shit to me. Some fat comic tried to do that to me at Stand Up New York.
You shot him.
And
I
she was
remember
corrected. I would love to have shot her. Big fat fuck.
All right, Judah.
Hope she's dead.
Let's get the plug.
No, I'm just saying. Next Thursday at Jim Norton's favorite club.
Are you actually at Gotham or at the other one?
It's the new Gotham.
Okay.
The new Gotham. They have a new
that
club.
Sounds like a nice place.
Yeah. 23rd. I'm there one night, just headlining one night. Next Thursday, March 30th, 8:30. And,
You have a number for them?
It's 212-367-9000, or you can go to my website, judahfriedlander.com, and
check
it'll
that out.
show you the info.
All right,
I will say for the record, Judah is, a really funny act, and I would definitely go see him. That's the only night I would consider patronizing that club.
Maybe you can wear a mustache or something so they don't know you're there.
Jimmy's just pushing it so he can pour gasoline in the front door and
2 hours ago.
throw a match in.
Jim, if you want to do a guest set, I can hook it up.
You probably could, but they wouldn't allow it. We gotta ask. Fucking douchebags.
I have a movie that just came out on DVD too. I'd love to plug if I could. Yeah, it was
okay.
It's straight to DVD, but I had fun making it. It's called Southern Bells. It's Anna Faris from all the Scary Movie movies. That chick, and that just came out on DVD. I play her like asshole boss at like a Walmart type store. It was fun.
Nice.
So
we got to go to Spike in Chicago real fast. Spike, what's up?
Yeah, you can find some of those links to the bait car videos. I think it's baitcar.com, or I even saw one at dumpalink.com.
Okay, we'll check out those websites.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Spike.
All right, no problem, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Very informative questions.
I tell you, that Spike just calls right in. He's good.
You want to hear the leprechaun story, Judah?
Yeah, I got to hear this one more time.
Yeah. We have a coyote loose in Central Park.
I know.
They said
it was captured.
I think they caught it.
They said they captured it, but the news is still showing
Maybe
video
there's
like
more
it's
than
still out
one.
there.
Like
oh my god,
like the bad guy in Mark for Death, like
Right.
Screwface in Mark for Death. There were 2 of them. You know.
I think,
that could be.
I think by now
There's
Steve.
a twin. There's a coyote twin.
I think by now Steve has put the video up on opieandanthony.com of this news story from Mobile, Alabama. This is a real story.
New story?
Yes.
Okay.
They have something loose in Mobile, Alabama. And Anthony came up with something that was really good.
I did.
It sounds like this is like a Dave Chappelle bit, but this is a real news story. No lie.
Okay.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community, many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Leprechaun.
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff. And it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
Get down to the bottom of this. Yeah, it's still on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This is awesome. This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off smells right here. This is the special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm going to run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where the gold is. I want to go. Give me the go. I want to go.
I want to go.
Ain't that America?
I want to go there.
That sounds
That
like
was awesome.
the scariest place in the world.
No kidding.
I love that. The leprechaun.
Leprechaun.
I am leprechaun. I am leprechaun.
What? That's the end of the show.
Wow.
What happened?
What the? That went very quickly today because we had fun. It was a fun-filled show with fun-filled guests.
We didn't even get to talk about American Idol.
No, huh? They're throwing someone off tonight?
I guess.
Might be be
nerd?
time for little Kevin to go.
That's a nerd
So
kid?
that little nerdy kid.
Kevin?
But I don't know. I think they'll throw one of the
He
chicks off before they
stinks,
throw him
huh?
off. He's really bad. He did a song and he was really off-key and stuff. Again, the rocker dude there. What's his name?
The teeth guy?
Fred. Chris Daughtry or
Daughtry.
Daughtry or something like that.
Chris
yeah.
Daughtry tore up a version of Johnny
the Line.
Cash's "Walk the Line."
He did a version of Walk the Line. He didn't even recognize that was a Johnny Cash song. He made it his own.
The guy is a performer. He is a performer.
And he was probably better than that fucking cleft palate fucker that played Johnny Cash.
Joaquin
Phoenix.
How was that? I didn't see that. No good?
Oh, I was going to go try to rent Stacy Keach as Johnny Cash.
You're better off. Fucking Twinkle Twinkle Killer Cash.
Fucking guy confused me. At least give a name.
It's fucking. He looks more like him than that fucking Phoenix. Stinks.
I like the
Cheech Marin as
I like
what?
the Walk the Line.
Oh,
I
he
didn't
looked,
mind
sounded, and sang nothing like the man.
I didn't mind that. Oh, well, we can't talk about American Idol. We don't have enough time to talk about
not
American
enough
Idol.
time.
I'll say Bucky's gone, though.
Bucky's going. No, one
What
of the
about
chicks.
that Jay Leno looking gray hair?
He's on there till the end. America loves him.
Really?
They love Taylor Hicks.
The Rubes love him. I'm saying one of the broads go.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Lisa Tucker? We know their names.
Yeah.
How pathetic is this?
Lisa
Call us
Tucker
out on
goes
how
tonight.
pathetic this is, please. Lisa Tucker or Bucky?
And Judah's gig next Thursday.
Oh, yeah,
The
please.
20th or the 30th?
30th.
30th?
At 8:30.
Shithole.
23rd and what? Where's it?
It's 23rd, the new Gotham Comedy Club between 7th and 8th, and I got a lot of other shows. I've been out of town working a lot, but now I'm in town in New York for the next couple
What's
months.
the number?
We don't know.
212-367.
Program complete.